Did you get your Ribena, honey?
Yeah, I got my fucking Ribena and I've started the recording, okay? Let's fucking go. God.
Better behave yourself, otherwise you get put in the corner.
It's the wrong roll 20. Busters.
Yeah, I can't really call it Union Busters anymore, can I? I suppose
Yeah, it
it'll
still works.
It'll still be Union Busters.
I'll be Union Busters, yeah.
Corporate hacks.
Corporate hacks.
I think I did all the stuff last session.
Yeah, I remember going through the end of the last session. I was just making sure.
And I think
Just
I did
double
my
checking.
character stuff too.
I have a...
No, Joe?
No,
To be fair, I didn't ask this week, so he might be working.
Kind of forgot.
So,
Well,
he may be at work.
as a heads up, I will not be here next week.
No worries, that's alright.
And what's the following week? The 25th?
It is the 24th.
24th? Yes.
You'll be away? No worries, that's alright. Yep.
Because the
Nice.
gigs.
The 3rd, yeah.
Yeah.
Understandable.
That's alright. No worries. I'll plan ahead
Sorry.
for these next few weeks and see if we can get enough people.
Should be alright for the first, though.
Oh. Yeah, that'll be fine.
Petition, by the way, to call this episode Big Trouble in Little Hanoi. Come on, that's a
Anyway.
That's a better fucking... Fuck you! Because the Vietnam... Whatever.
It's Avatar Vietnam.
It is Avatar.
Okay. So.
Sorry, were you saying something?
No, I was like, so.
Alright. Well,
Fucking asshole.
we begin the session, as with many others, a long camera shot panning down into the dense tropical forest of this planet. Coming in towards a band of lush greenery just above the equator, down through the canopy, different coloured birds flying past the camera as we zoom in on a group of 4 mechs marching through the forest, sidling past trees, down small ditches and up small ravines, moving towards their target. You know, you have 8 days to complete the mission assigned to you by Mr. Horatio Borax, to infiltrate this Yarosov facility and retrieve for him a package, and to return it safely to the teleportation point at your base camp. If I remember correctly from last session, you had all clambered into your mechs, chosen your own personal one, tested it out a little bit, got it moving, get your eye back in the ball. You've got piloted a mech for some time, some of you, and have set off to scout out the outpost or the mining station even. Is that correct?
Yep.
Give me a rough marching order. Who's leading this this group of you? What are you doing? Are you sort of fanning out? Are you staying in a very tight formation?
I imagine we're pretty fanned out.
Hmm.
At least in my head, that's how it is. Maybe like
a
20,
picket
30
line
feet
almost.
between. Yeah.
That makes sense. You pick your way through this forest. You can't really see too far. It's quite very dense trees, large, thick redwoods, large canopy overhead, so it's quite dark. But you've no trouble traversing it in your mechs. And then,
Oh, sorry. No, I was.
Fuck.
oh, I thought you were doing something. I was like, what's this?
I actually. No, I have your attention.
That was like fucking secret signal time.
Yeah, Dougal is just going to go on juice,
Very good.
and he's just widened his range on the scanners.
Excellent.
So I'm literally eyes abode.
Dougal, you probably notice it first then. As you're making your way through the trees, you see something odd, something strange about the surrounding forestry. Something just doesn't quite sit right with you. And then it clicks. That's a shell hole. That's a piece of armor plating. Hold on. That's a scorch mark. It seems like there was some sort of skirmish here in the recent past. A number of shell holes pocket the trees. Large gouges have been dug out of the earth and then recovered by fallen foliage and old leaves, and have faded slightly. But you can definitely see the scrape marks and the gross indentation of mechs.
Interesting.
I do not think we were the first.
I believe from my rough map last session, you were traveling in a southwesterly direction.
Yep.
These would be heading northeast. If you were to look, you can look at one of these marks on the ground and go, okay, most mech's feet sort of look like human feet. Faces this way. It's pretty easy to tell.
Yeah.
So you can tell that the tracks go that way, and there are shell holes around, scorch marks, the odd bit of armor plating you can see, like half buried in the muck.
I would like to pick up a piece of armor plating and investigate it to see if I can recognize what part it is. If it's like a knee brace, a arm brace, what type of model, even if there's any indication of like company logos or anything like that on it.
Sounds good. Go ahead and roll me some sort of investigation or spot check for that. Imagine you call a halt.
Yep.
And then sort of pick it up in one of your hands.
We're all level 3 now, aren't we?
Yes, you are indeed.
Interesting.
While he's doing that, could I examine the different what do you call it? Try and examine the gouges in the earth, scorch marks in the trees and stuff, and like try and determine like a rough timeline.
Okay, yep, no worries. Are you doing anything at this time, Nathan, either?
Can I try to analyze the craters to see what grade of explosive we're dealing with? Like, are we dealing with missiles or mortar shells or mines or mech blasts?
Probably more importantly, right now, mines.
Yeah.
Righto, perfect. Sounds good. Can you also roll me some sort of spot or weapons test for that?
I would love to use a tech if that's alright.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Could you do something similar for me, Race? Yes. Yeah. Hagi will resolve yours first as the others two roll. You pick up this scorched bit of blasted off metal. You can see it's about 3 inches thick, but it just looks like a slate grey, like black iron sort of substance. Some sort of forged alloy of steel and titanium, perhaps. You know what quite basically is the outer armor that adorns most basic mechs. The inner skeletal structure is hardened titanium and so on. Or the more outer, weaker armor that can be replaced more easily is usually made of an alloy of some sort. But there's no defining marks on it, and it's been so bent and warped by the blast and the heat that has been applied to it. You can't really tell if it could have been a shoulder piece, it could have been a knee piece.
It's like a small, tiny chevron piece on the shoulder pauldron.
It's like you pick it up in the hand of the mech, and it's like it could really be any piece, but you'd know roughly that it's definitely off a basic grade mech. This isn't some like high-tech alloy or carbon steel or anything. It's fairly basic. It's probably off some sort of form of Everest model.
Can I get a cheeky question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it rusty?
Ooh, would it be? It is not rusty.
Right, yeah.
It is not rusty. Nathan, an 11? Yes. You get one question. What question out of the one you asked me a load of questions there? What is the main one you would like to know? And then I'll give you tidbits for the rest.
Were these explosions caused by mechs?
Yes.
Interesting.
Very clearly.
Yes, the mech stepped on a mine.
It's mech, as in mech-based weaponry rather than.
Oh, definitely yes,
Okay.
definitely mech-based weaponry. And you can tell that doesn't seem. None of the blasts look like a mine had exploded and blown the earth out. There's no craters like that. They're all sort of like scorch mark craters, like shells have impacted the ground and then span and collided out, or a missile struck somewhere and splattered. It's all like directional spray. It is. None of it's crater. That makes sense.
It looks like we are the first group of mechs in the area that have been hunting these people.
Sorry, Reese, you were also looking for.
Just like a rough timeline. Does investigate apply?
I'll give you an investigate. Yeah, yeah. You're definitely investigating this area.
Never mind.
6. It's because of the dim light. Because of the dim light under this large canopy, the lights mounted on the front of your mechs are like 2 spotlights. Only can show you so much at one time.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're not really used to this planet. You don't know how fast foliage falls. The ground regrows.
Yeah, yeah.
Loose leaves are trampled over it. It's sort of hard to tell. You think it could be anywhere. It doesn't look recent. Doesn't look like it was in the last few days, at least.
Okay.
Time has definitely hidden these tracks somewhat.
Mm. I relay that as vaguely. Well, not. I was gonna say as vaguely as I can. That's not what I
vaguely
mean.
as possible.
Hey. Doesn't
When did it
doesn't look.
happen, Nigel?
They don't look. They don't look. They don't look fresh, is what I'm saying.
I don't think this was recent.
When did it happen? The past.
You could give a rough estimate of 3 days to a week, 2 weeks. You don't know.
That's fine.
Right, take off northeast.
Yeah, you can begin traveling northeast,
Just
following these tracks as best you can if you want.
I don't know where we came from.
Yeah.
We came from the east.
Are we not heading southwest?
Yes. So sorry, you're heading southwest. No, these tracks intersect. You going northeast. They are going.
So just
You're. Here,
What?
I'll fucking draw it.
yes, please, thank you.
Once-
We're heading
Oh, it's-
southwest, and they're heading northeast. That's
So we're heading.
wind.
Just to
They're
clarify, we're heading
crossing you.
We're heading towards the enemy encampment to the southwest.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, I should have said northwest. Sorry.
Okay.
sorry. Okay.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, I
They're-
forgot. It's
they're-
Paul. He always
they're-
gets left and right wrong.
They're intersecting you to cross almost.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Okay.
Sorry
Okay,
about that.
that's fine. No, that's fine.
That's fine.
Okay. Can we see that, like, can we get a vague, like, how many tracks, roughly, does it look like, of mechs?
Yeah, roll me an investigate.
That's a little better.
20. 3 questions.
Okay. How many mech tracks do I see? I presume if we, like, go a little bit southeast, you can see the tracks coming in, the signs of combat, and then is there tracks? Wait, okay, okay, only 3 questions, hold on.
So you
How
can,
many-
you
how
can
many-
like,
how
talk about
many-
it and think about it.
How many mechs seem to enter this combat zone?
Mm-hmm.
How many mechs seem to leave combat zone?
Mm-hmm.
And can I see, are there tracks of other mechs that would have been the ones ambushing, potentially, if there are?
Okay. The first one might take you some time to investigate, because you don't know quite how far this combat zone extends. You can't see any dead mechs at this time.
Okay.
So you don't know how many left, but you know, from looking on the ground, you can tell there's definitely maybe a flight and a half of lancers. We're looking at about 16. No, flight and a half. Yeah, 18.
16
Okay.
to 18.
We're looking at about 18 mechs, a flight and a half. Flight of lancers is 12 mechs.
Okay.
That's going to confuse me because a flight of whiskey is 5.
It doesn't even round well. I can't even make it work. Damn it. A lancer's flight is 12 mechs.
Hmm.
That's easier on the brain.
Like a Concorde.
Yeah.
Doesn't help at all, but okay.
There's 18. You can tell roughly 18 sets of tracks.
Okay.
Um,
Just a lot. That's
actually,
fine.
you rolled a 20 there, so actually 19.
Interesting.
There are 19 sets of tracks.
Okay.
Your second question.
I believe second question was how many seem to like have continued on?
All of them seem to have continued on.
Okay.
Depends how far northwest you go.
Mm.
If you
I
want
mean,
to follow
only a
these
bit. Maybe
tracks,
only like 100, 200 meters.
all of them seem to have lasted at least that. Well, yeah, at least that far.
Could I rephrase my question?
Yeah, sure.
I presume there's a large difference in Lancer footprints between walking and running,
Yep.
both in the size of the hole they leave and the gait.
Yep.
Do they appear to be like fleeing? Not fleeing necessarily, but do they seem to be like running from this combat or to something else? Or do they like walk? Because one means that the combat ended.
This seems like it was a running gunfight.
Right. Okay.
As you look at the footprints, you can over the tracks and the gunshots along the tree lines and various bits of blown out foliage and shrapnel damage. You can see that it looks like one group of mechs was moving almost from tree to tree in a sort of staggered retreat, taking cover as they went, whereas a larger group was just running them down. Not so much. You could see that a lot more tracks that were slightly newer and obviously less prone to dodging gunfire didn't take cover as much. They almost just ran them down.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
It does.
Could sorry, Reese.
Oh,
One
no, that's
more.
fine. I've actually forgotten what my third question was.
That's right. We can do Haggy when you think about it.
Yeah.
Can I spot from impact and tree to firing position?
Yeah, you totally can.
Da 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 da. Oh,
What are you looking for?
foxhole firing position, line of sight. How good was it on the way in? Basically, I'd like to walk over and go. Yeah, it was about here.
You can tell most of the shots are within 60 meters. Some of them was
60?
close. Some of them was close to 30 to 15. And then you can tell from some of the tracks, some of them actually got into melee range. You can see a number of large scores and hack marks out of trees, or obviously mechs have smashed into them and left deep gouges from either their weapons or just crashing into them themselves. But you can see most of the shots that were taken, at least on the pursuing side, as you go look northwest, seem to be fairly accurate. You look at probably about a 70% accuracy range. Most of the shots...
More debris than tree remnants.
More debris than tree. Yeah, more debris than tree. You don't think the weapons they're using were highly effective. Doesn't seem like they're taking mechs out with one shot. That kind of weapon isn't really found. On the opposing side, the retreating side, you can see it was a lot less. It was a lot more like 40 to 50% accuracy. A lot more tree than mech was hit in that regard. Doesn't seem like there's any long range fire in this. It seems like a very sort of close range engagement.
Nigel, were some of the track marks deeper than the others, as if they were carrying something? Because they got out here in a hurry. This is harassing fire to cover.
I guess that'll be my third question.
Very well. Also, Nathan, if you wish to re-roll your tech to see if you can tell what caliber of weapons made these rolls, I'd say that Haggy did well enough finding out his information that it's changed the situation and would give you a chance again. It's hard to tell. It doesn't look like landmines. It's hard to tell one mech assault rifle from another from a pistol. It's has the tree regrown in the past time?
The dice taketh away.
Was it a true penetrating shot? You just can't tell. Doesn't look like any energy weapons were deployed, at least.
Can I ask more questions?
Can I get to Reese first?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Reese's last question, I believe. Did they look like they were carrying anything?
Looking to carrying something. Can I make it a two-parter?
Depends on what the two-parter is, I'll say. But let me
I
hear it
also.
first.
So like we can easily see well, not easily, but the force being pursued are they're going cover to cover, like taking shots, going cover to cover, taking shots. Does it look like well, I guess it's kind of the same, at least the same kind of question. Does it seem that the ones running, stopping to take shots, does it look like there's one in particular, or maybe two, that just keep running as if the others are giving cover?
It does not.
It doesn't? Okay, that's fine. So the whole force was like constantly being engaged, not like
Mhm.
it was like fucking one's running ahead trying to get out of this while the rest are providing cover
It seems
fire.
like this was almost like a rearguard action.
Right. Okay, that's fine. And yeah, and it doesn't. Okay, that's fine.
Doesn't look like they were carrying anything.
Okay, that's fine.
Um,
The chances of a sun coming on at this time.
I know, right?
was there another question? I thought I heard another one.
Uh,
I think that was it.
I do have some questions about general logistics and possession.
Oh, Nathan
Is
wanted
you-
to ask
yes.
more questions. That
Yes,
was
go
what it
ahead,
was.
Nathan. Go ahead.
Now, just to clarify what we're doing right now, we are traveling to the southwest, away from our starting position, our teleportation pad,
Yes.
and we were traveling towards the encampment.
The mining station.
The mining
yes.
station, yes. We have now, traveling from there to there, we have now encountered guys coming from towards the northwest from the southeast. Intersecting, yeah?
Like a
Yes.
next.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. At least at the bit you currently are at. Yes.
Okay. So I'm just going to map
You've not
this.
travelled a great distance either way. You don't know if they turn off, perhaps.
Okay.
Well, if
Aggie?
Nathan doesn't have a question, I have one question.
It's up to Nathan.
That's all I have for now.
Okay, Aggie.
Did any of the track marks extend beyond the conflict zone towards our base?
It doesn't look like it, no.
Right, good. So they weren't planning on heading towards us and then veered off after getting shot at.
It looks like this was a very direct push to the northwest. Yep.
They were
Interesting.
chasing them.
I also realized that there was hand-to-hand, mech-on-mech. This was a close quarters engagement.
This was a route, not just a hunt. I do not think we are
Did we
the first
proceed
people.
off?
I do not think we are the first people to be hired for this job.
Could be a given. It's a lot more resources than just a low-key spec up.
That complicates things, though. That means they might be ready for a fight. Expecting one.
I say,
They won't be if they manage to write off what our forces here before.
I suggest we proceed on mission and veer off the main path. Basically, take more time, but veer off a direct approach. That
Yeah.
way we can still disembark and cover, have one mech station with the others and an on-foot scout group.
You don't want to straight shot it anymore to the
No.
Head
Southwest.
just straight
Sounds good.
south for a while.
Not because somebody's coming towards us, in case somebody's coming behind us.
Yeah.
Because
Fair.
this is now deemed as like a main route through the
Hot
forest.
zone.
That
Yeah, we head south for like 2 or 3 clicks and then head west.
That
Yep.
sounds good.
Because
That
the from our like home base, the
Mhm.
mine was about what? It was like 10 kilometers away, didn't you
It's
say?
about 10 kilometers, I
Um,
believe. Yeah.
How far would you say we've come?
I'd say you've probably come about 5.5 to 6 clicks, maybe closer
Okay.
to 6.
Okay, that's a good distance. Yeah, so let's head straight south then for like 3, then start heading west. That should get us roughly there. Give or
Yep.
take.
I think we should disembark before we
No?
head west. Because before we
Oh,
head west.
oh yeah, that's a good idea. When we get to this most southern point where we're like, yeah, we'll start heading west. That's when we'll disembark. Yeah.
Because there's a river flowing east to west, isn't there?
Yes, east to west, there's a river through the center of this mining station.
So until the river becomes
Should we just-
invisible.
Basically go to the river and then move on foot along the river.
Yeah.
You could do that.
the
And that gives us a chance also to have a look at the potential depth.
And the current.
Also, because I really fucking want to go up that river and just fucking emerge out of the bank in the middle of the base.
Just
It's getting back. It might be the
fucking
trouble.
Apocalypse
Nah,
Now level of shit.
That'd be fucking sick.
Can sorry, go on. Go on.
Face
No,
paint
I was
the
just
mech.
gonna say that. Yeah, so we do that.
Perfect. Can Dougal and Nigel, can you both give me spot checks to see if you spot anything else as you head straight south now?
19.
Sergey, you're still racking your brain over why can't you think of the ballistics?
Nope.
Why?
Unrecognized roll. Slash roll.
19?
One.
Okay.
Why is that an unrecognized roll?
Don't know. What are you doing?
What'd you fuck up?
Slash roll. Oh, you need to put a space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
18.
18. So you both spot this about a very similar time. You spot that the tracks that were heading to the northwest loop around at some point in a large circle. Sort of heading.
Pursuers or the pursued?
Well, if they're heading northwest and we're heading south, then
It looks like they were almost pushed.
Or both sets of tracks. Like both
Both
groups?
sets of
Sorry,
tracks.
okay.
It's
okay.
not so much a direct pursuit at some points as it is almost like a standing gunfight. You can sort of
Okay.
tell from these tracks that these guys were pushed east, and then as they pushed east, they sort of rotated north and then were pursued.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So it's more likely they probably actually did come from the mining encampment then, is what you're saying. That's just to make sure that that's how I was getting my directions right. That's something that we could assume.
Yes.
Okay.
The mining encampment is in the west. Yes.
Excellent.
Looks like these guys
Okay.
were pushed east and then fanned out and rotated up before traveling northwest again. All the time being harried by an opposing faction.
Okay.
If that is the case, after we look at the mine, I would like to look and see where they were running to. Perhaps we can find another teleportation pad, another encampment where we might be able to resupply.
I'd prefer not to either come into the base of an enemy corporation or
he's
come into the rear of a flight and a half of lancers.
he does provide a decent challenge, though. It's another angle of attack.
Duh. We might
Could
even
call again search if we cause a grand diversion. We could end up emptying the base and having them rally on whatever may be up there.
Duh. We might
First-
find new allies.
No, not allies.
You never know. An enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Is that why I have tried not to kill you?
I would like to think so.
Am I your friend?
I would say comrade. I smile. You can hear me smiling.
Very well.
I just keep
As
walking on.
as you reach sort of the most southerly part of these tracks,
Mhm.
just before they start to curve from the east up to the northwest, you can spot drag marks heading back west. Looks like something large was dragged back west through the forest. These drag marks seem a bit fresher than the other tracks, and it looks like something not what's the word of an irregular shape was dragged. It's not like a box was dragged. You know, it's like a large plow. It's like
Like
there's
a
a line
mech?
here, like a mech.
Okay.
Was dragged
Okay.
west back towards the base, and then you pass these tracks back into the trees. The shell holes stop, the burned scorch marks stop, and you're back in the peaceful forest. Well, you can continue traveling, and as you do, as you approach the river, you're maybe only a click and a half out from the river now. You notice that the trees begin to get shorter, and the foliage begins to thin slightly, as your field of view widens into this large flowing river.
I
Go on.
put my hand up to say, call, stop. by seeing this because I don't want to put my mic out in the shorter shrub.
It's not short shrub yet, but it's not the giant redwoods you were in, should I say. It's more like average tree height. You would think like you're walking through a fir wood almost.
Yeah. I think we'll still stop here though. Like
That's
the more
fair.
dense we are, and the better.
True.
Serge, what's on the scanners?
I would like to do a little scan, please.
Go
Serge,
ahead.
you're a tight boy.
Would you like to
Give
roll
it a
for this?
ping.
I shall give
I
it.
most definitely would, yes, as you're currently activating your active sensors.
Can I use something for this?
What would you like to use?
Tech?
Mm,
Serge, you're a tech boy.
well, I've
I would say tech could be more useful in perhaps interpreting the results.
well, I don't have a tech. I've got an inventor create or hacker fix.
I don't think any of those
Yeah.
could work because anybody can scan
Yeah, anybody can
using
scan.
your mech, so I don't
Okay,
think any of
so
those
am I
would
just
apply.
am I just rolling a d20 then?
A D20 plus.
Plus
Where's it gone?
grit?
I
Grit?
think there's plus grit, of course, always plus grit.
6. I can't roll for shit in this fucking campaign. It's genuinely
no-
a disability.
Not the campaign. Everybody has a day.
No, it's literally everything. Every
You mind I went and-
necessary roll.
I mean, you say that, but you almost always get what you want. So
What
Hey,
is your
I-
sensor? Sorry.
Sorry, no. I was just going to sympathise with him in the sense of like I went to the socialist camp, showed them that Genevieve was a bastard, and they went, because I road shit. I huffed drugs and then fell over and started foaming in
Yeah.
combat engagement. It
That is
happens.
also true.
It happens. What's your sensor range, Nathan?
Check that on my mech. If you give me 1 moment, please.
No problem. Just in case it's been upgraded from the points you put in.
Sensor range. 10.
10. No problem.
It's base sensor range.
A 6. Okay. Okay, no problem. You send out this ping to the full extent of your sensors.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch it travel out this small green ring on the screen in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Bing! Something off to the west. Something large. Pings. But nothing else within your sensor range. Sensor range of 10 would give you about 5 kilometers.
Okay.
Sorry, you say your sensor range is 10?
Yes.
Right.
Within 5k, you don't see any other pings at this point, apart from a large ping to the west, which you can assume to be
The main.
some part of the outer base.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mine.
What do you see, Serge?
No hostiles in the area. Only the mine.
Did you scan for organics?
Is it possible for us to scan for organics?
It would be, yes. It would be a more difficult role, and I would say it might be risky.
I'd have to like pop off infrared or something to be able to do it.
You'd have to pump your sensors even more to detect smaller objects, and send out a stronger ping, which more likely to be detected.
It is riskier. Bigger ping means bigger noise.
Fair enough.
Think about it like you're dropping a stone in the ocean every time you do it.
Yep.
But we do give it a go.
I think whatever's out there we can hopefully handle.
Duh. If it's a big rhino, we just shoot it.
You know, Nathan, that it would not pick up organics, but it would pick up if they are carrying anything large and metallic, like a gun or body armor.
Or like a big iPad or something. Technology.
Yeah, like a backpack, fucking road
Yeah.
station or something.
Okay.
No, it's not going to pick up somebody's phone. Not this mech, at least.
Okay. I need a better mech. Eventually.
I hit the disembark procedure. Like my mech just spreads legs and lowers down like a sumo wrestler.
Yep. No problem. You disembark.
Alright.
Gav sort of calms over and goes, "I'll stay and guard the mix."
All right, Gav.
I was gonna suggest you did that. Well, good thinking, Gav.
Duh.
So you disembark, Dougal. You sort of climb down the small ladder at the side of the body of the mech, just to like lower yourself to the ground, and your boots squelch in the sort of muddy undergrowth. A lot of leaves and muck mostly. Not much grass here. A lot of moss.
I also disembark.
Yeah, same. The air is hot and humid again, and you feel your clothes start to stick to you as you start to move about. No longer the air-conditioned cabin of your mech.
Ah,
I'd like to go up to Gav and say, I'll hail you on this frequency if the shit's hit the fan. And the frequency is 411430. But the threes we altered and it clips over to the side and it basically says Alamo.
ah,
So sounds good. Yeah, it gives you the affirmative that he'll pick you up on that frequency.
that's pretty good.
That's a panic button.
That's the Team America secret signal. Surge, I assume you also disembark.
Yes. Have the mech just lift. Have the mech essentially just pluck me out of its chest and just drop me on the ground.
Sure. That's yeah.
Duh.
I'm surprised you let it trust you do that.
You can always have to trust your machine.
Seen too many cocky pilots get crushed by their own mech.
Ones that don't know what they're doing. It's all about
Oh.
ducking and rolling.
I wouldn't advise doing it unless you have a neural net link to your mech.
Who needs Neuralink when you have enough buttons?
Fair enough.
So yeah, you disembark.
Can,
Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, can I listen to the jungle?
Yes, of course you can. Roll me a spot.
Can I? Sorry, do you guys see that?
No,
No, we don't see weird
Good.
shit. If you want to get a better dice roller, by the way, Haggy,
23.
better dice roller. See on the left, you've got your control panel on the screen.
Yeah.
Hover over the D20 that's there and scroll down to Advanced Dice Roller.
Mm-hmm.
If you click on Advanced Dice Roller, it'll bring up a Dice Roller tab for you.
Yeah, I just control paste.
Yeah, but then it'll
Because
show
that way I
you.
can alter it myself.
It'll show you. You can alter this yourself as well with the
I know,
Advanced Roller.
that's how I've read
And
it.
you can click on your last 10 rolls. It's fucking useful.
Very good. Well, anyway,
Fucking
23.
yeah.
There we go. What are you
Anyway.
listening for in this forest? What three things do you want to stand out the most to you above the normal sounds of a forest, bird cries, the hum of the mining facility in the background with like. Apart from that, what else are you listening for?
So the fauna is here, it's not disturbed.
Flora and fauna does seem to be here. Yes, I won't count
Can
that
hear
one.
them. Can hear clanking of the mining base.
Mhm.
Do I hear anything that sounds like jets? As in like hover helicopters,
With a
hover
23,
pads, anything?
you think over the drone of the mining facility that you just like the background drone of it, you do hear a in the distance. You think you do hear a helicopter somewhere, or perhaps multiple, but they do seem to be quite a distance away. You know, it's like you're at an air show and you can hear it coming in the distance. You know it's somewhere, but you can't see it yet.
So can I tell if it's a difference between a? Well, but no, I'm just going to be nice. Second question.
I would say you can definitely tell the difference between a rotor blade and a jet. Yes, it sounds like a rotor blade.
I was going to say rotor blade or boat engine.
Sounds like a rotor blade, 100%. But I don't need to count that. That's fine.
Fair enough. I was going to be courteous and say, second question, do I hear any boats?
You do not hear any boats. You can hear the rushing of the water, large crashing of the rapids of the river, but you don't hear any boats or any engine noises from that direction.
And then my ears attune, trying to listen out as best I can with the rabble around me for people. And I'm listening for chatter, radio static, maybe the odd on a twig or something like that.
No, you don't hear any of that. Not at least in this area that you're currently.
Well, it seems like a good spot right here. So, us three gents go up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just get ready. You never know.
Look up as well, gents, because you never know. They might have broadcast surveillance, drones.
Drop the bells.
Yes. Also, look at the floor in case there's any spider pits or mines.
Or floor bears.
Indeed, or
I
Florida.
genuinely laugh at that. Does Nigel genuinely sigh?
He does, and he immediately begins walking towards the west.
Follow him. Keeping an
You
avid
can
eye
head in
out.
west now, no problem.
Yeah.
I am.
Uh,
Yeah.
That's fine.
Sniper out, follow in pursuit. Nigel's got
I mean,
the
I
lead.
imagine we're like, what, maybe like 100, 200 meters from the river's edge?
I would say 4 to 5.
4 to 5? That's
Like
fine.
you can hear it, you can't see it.
Okay.
Does the river, sorry, bend at all?
It
Or
does.
is it just flat?
It does. If I, this is a more close-up view.
I'd like to
More
then very, like, we're
rustic
heading
view,
west,
shall
but
we
like,
say.
you know, like west-southwest, like,
Oh.
slightly heading southwest to go closer to the river. But,
Yeah.
still
You can-
generally heading west.
Yeah, I sort of thought you were just following the riverbank.
Yeah,
But you're
yeah,
just,
yeah, sorry.
like
I
a
thought we
distance
were
more
closer.
inland.
Sorry, I thought we were closer than we were.
Yeah, no worries. You can keep inland a good bit, still in the forest, and see the riverbank every so often after you're left as you travel westward.
Mm.
The river does
Right.
bend slightly, but it's large bends. This is a large river. We're talking 600 to
No.
700 meters wide here.
Oh, that'll definitely be deep as fuck then.
This is
Sort of
a
like the Amazon, yeah.
this is a big river. You
Okay.
can see numerous spots where it sort of descends slightly into rapids as the land sort of curves inwards as the river passes through it. But it looks like you could get a boat up it with not a lot of difficulty, but it would definitely be a challenge if you're less experienced at such things.
Am I right in assuming that the river's flowing west?
The river is flowing west to east. So you're
Other way,
currently
west
So
east.
we're going upstream basically right now?
you're going upstream, yes, right now.
Okay. Well, that makes going in harder, but coming out might be easier.
Yeah.
Like the current.
Remember, we have jets on, or not really jets, but we have stabilizers on the mix. They'll be able to help us propel along.
For your knowledge of EVA capabilities of your mech, you don't think you'd have any issue moving upstream in this river. It doesn't look like maybe if you're pushing against a very big rapids, like uphill, it might be somewhat of a challenge, but you don't think this would pose too much of a risk.
Okay.
Yeah, so you continue heading west. The trees here are a lot smaller. There's a lot more undergrowth, a lot more patches of light. The giant redwoods you'll have decreased into more moderate sizes, more average sized trees. And eventually, I'd say after, well, how fast you walk? Say, maybe after about 50 minutes of walking,
Moving very cautiously.
maybe after about 60 minutes of walking, in the distance, you can just make the outlines out through the undergrowth and the stands of trees, a fence. The trees give way to open ground.
I have a question about our walk on the way in.
Go ahead.
The topography to the north, does the redwood or the avatar trees recede at all, or do they just hold like that 500, like 400 to 600 meter distance to the bank? Or does it veer off as well?
It's roughly
As if it's been cleared?
it's roughly equidistant the whole way until you start to get within a kilometer and a half of the base, where it starts to widen out as it looks like it's been cleared. But it remains roughly 500 to 600 meters away before it begins to really escalate into the large great redwoods.
Okay.
Before that point. Until the point you're at now, where you're maybe half a kilometer from the outside of the base, maybe closer. At which point it's more like a click, 2 clicks away, or the edge of the Great Redwoods.
Interesting. I would just like to look through my scope and try and survey, see things. Be on my roll first before I start asking.
Go ahead. You'll notice some stuff, of course, but it's what extra do you see? 16. You do notice a little bit extra. So we'll start off with what you see first for asking a question. So as you look through your scope, you sort of creep a bit closer to you get a good vantage point where the trees make way, almost like a ground car trail, like somebody would drive a small truck up here, or a flatbed has been carved through the forest. You see a large gate, not corrugated iron, but like latticed, like metal, a large fence.
Yeah.
2 concrete guard posts either side, big turrets on top filled with glass, and a couple of blue screens inside. And you do see people moving about through your scope. There's a couple of people on the ground, behind the fence on the inside, sort of milling about at a guard position. Further in, you see the insides of the base compound itself. The large mech training field, from what you can tell, is sort of to your northwest now. Further in, you can sort of see the edge of it. It's like a large dirt field, basically, where mechs can perform maneuvers and train tactics without smashing anything. And then further in, you see that the trees have been cleared for another, say, half a kilometer until it hits the black sort of outline of this mining facility itself. Another smaller buildings in front of the main sort of warehouse. That then climbs up into large towers and smokestacks as burns off excess fuel and excess vapor from the mine. Then you see to the left, it extends out over the river, but you can't quite see that far because of the trees. Any other questions? No, that's the basics.
The people on the towers, do all of them look like guards, or is there some civilians?
They look like sort of civilian. They look like security guards. The guys in the towers aren't wearing body armor. They're more wearing like polo shirts or dress shirts. You can see they're obviously military of some sort, as you can see like the odd rank insignia on a lapel or a shoulder. But they don't look like they're
frontline station. Yeah,
they don't look like they're frontline ready to do battle right this instant.
They're also not sitting with ghost cannons or anything, right?
Nope, they don't. Doesn't seem to be
pistols.
any. Doesn't seem to be any mounted weaponry in the turrets of these 2 towers. You see a number of screens and some like satellite dishes and different antenna off the top. Looks like they might be more scanning outposts or radio towers.
It's better.
The guards on the inside, however, do very much look like regular soldiers. They're wearing like a mottled brown and red camouflage of the Yarosov Corporation. Body armor, pauldrons, and a large sort of boxy helmet.
When you said turrets on the towers, did you mean architecturally or like?
Architecturally, sorry.
Sorry, okay. I thought you meant turrets.
Like,
Think
at
one point I was going to ask, were they manned or automated?
Think
I'm thinking.
think very much hails that image there.
Right.
Very much
I was
sort
going
of
to
hails
say airport tower. Yeah.
airport towers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not as large, but yeah, think very much like that.
Okay then.
Any more questions I can ask, or?
You can give them to somebody else if you want. Somebody else could ask a question in your stead if you're happy with that.
I do have 2 potential.
Up to you guys.
I
Talk it over
don't
first.
think I have any, because I'm mostly interested in the whatever the structures are that connect over the river. So we can't do that yet. So
You can't go. No, you'd have to go either more towards the river or more towards the fence for that. You're currently still in like a stand of trees.
Uh, question 1: do I see any radio antenna central spire masts at all from this angle on the base?
On the central base or on the turrets? Sorry. Let me...
Just from like where I am looking at
Uh-huh.
the wall, do I
Yes.
see anything that might look, because I can see smokestack, but like do I
Yep.
see any like comms towers?
Yeah, you see a number of comms relays sort of dotted throughout the mining station going further in.
Relays, right?
Yeah,
No, not the main one, but relays.
indeed, yes. Not the main one.
Right.
You said there was like a, sorry, you said that there was like a mech training facility, training grounds to the north.
It's like yeah. So you get a better look at that. I'll describe that a bit better. How about that? Think like a large track field or like a large football pitch, but
Yeah.
all the grass has been ripped up and it's pretty much mud. There's large practice dummies, roughly the shape of like a Yaroslav Everest, that are used to target practice, and it's basically just a large fucking muddy field that they use to train exercises. So they're not going to smash anything in the mining outpost if they're, training in arm-to-arm combat or performing tactical formations together, or engaging in like tactical scenarios between flights, say, like combat exercises. Does that make sense?
Yep. And then long shot, last question, unless anybody wants to use it.
I have questions about the river, but I think I can ask my own in a little bit.
That's fine. Yeah,
Well.
we can get to that after.
Actually, no, I'm going to change my question. My question is, does it look like there's another entry point further north? Or
Yeah, definitely. The trail you're on sort of hardens the closer it gets towards this gate, and you can see it juts both to the left and to the right along the outside of the wall. Well, not the wall, the fence.
very well.
So you could assume there's definitely another entrance point to the north, and maybe one to the south, closer to the riverbank.
So the
How far to
Jen.
the north? You can't quite tell from where you are right now.
Okay.
Do we split up, gents, or do we stick together?
Sorry.
I'm gonna creep a little bit further south. Look at the...
Sorry, what was that, Reese?
I'm gonna creep further south.
You're going to go further south towards the river. Very well.
Nigel, are we splitting up, or do we want to stay together?
Nigel is busy at the moment. We should give him.
Nigel.
Fuck, you are Nigel.
Gavin.
God damn it, Nigel.
If you think you've gained everything from this vantage point, then it would be best to move together, as I do not want to use comms right now.
No, do I. Very well, safety in numbers, but it will take longer.
I would like to take a closer look at the river.
That's where we're going.
Good.
Yeah. After the river, if we're not goose, like, can you assist me in searching north? I think that there might be more to the space room there.
Da. Easy peasy.
But I would advise we backtrack about 15 minutes and then head north.
Sounds good.
Yep. So you're heading down to the river first?
Yeah. At least
Very
just
well.
closer to the point, like to the point where we're still in the trees but can see.
You're not appearing onto the riverbank. You want to
yeah,
go to
yeah,
the edge of the crop of trees, maybe
Just
a couple of
to be
rows
able-
back.
To be able to see what the base is like and the structures on the other side of the river, and also what exactly is connecting them, like the actual layout.
Okay, perfect. As you creep closer towards the river, in through these stand trees, it becomes more clear to you. As you see, the base is almost built over the river. If you look at the map currently, which you can all see, you can see the base is made up of basically two main outposts, other side of the river, which seem to be almost anchoring a large center bridge, on which most of the mining facility itself is actually built on, as it sort of steeples upwards, maybe 4 or 5 stories.
I just whisper shit.
Under this bridge itself, you see the river continues to float outwards, and there's the sounds of rapids here are a lot stronger than they were further down the river. It almost sounds like the water's being churned up in some way underneath it, as it then
Does
escapes through this like large grate on the front of it.
does
Hyd-
the
Hydroelectric.
um does the entire I presume then elements of the structure in the middle of this, like the bridge part, goes into the river?
You can't tell that from where you are, but potentially.
Okay. I will hold my questions until we can determine that for certain.
This is still like a kilometer upriver. You're sort of looking.
Okay.
You're not, the between where you are, the fence and the base itself is roughly a kilometer, maybe slightly less.
So we
right
can't
now.
really get any closer.
Without going up to the fence, no, and the fence
Okay.
is still half a kilometer away from like the base itself.
What about through Haggie's scope?
True, but also, sorry, I forgot to say this. The fence itself, Haggy, if you're following to the south where that road went, you can see there's like a small gate in the side just before the river. The fence sort of slipping off into the beachhead. Not the beachhead, but the side of the river, like the shield rocks. The fence doesn't extend across the river. That's what I'm trying to say.
Interesting.
Through Haggie's scope, you can see a good bit better. That front bridge actually seems to be solid. You can see a number of what you thought perhaps were just reflections off the metal seem to be actual windows in the bridge
Ah.
itself.
Okay.
It seems like this is less of a bridge and more of like an actual structure built over the river. Underneath, you can see a bit better. You see the water's being churned and surrounded before it's washed out through this large grate, which sits in the water.
Okay.
Further in, Haggy, you think you can see almost like turbines or something spinning inside. You catch the odd glint of metal from that water, like underneath the bridge. But you can't be 100% sure how big they are. You could just be catching the edge of one, or you could be catching one of multiple. The under the bridge is illuminated, however, and you see numerous jetties sort of off to the side, and a couple of stairwells leading up into the mining station itself. In the center, you see surrounded as the water runs around it, a large circular structure descending beneath the riverbed.
A large circular structure surrounding the riverbed.
Yeah, so if you think, let me draw it. So not surrounding.
Submerged.
Submerged.
When they build bridges, like the big
Oh.
blockage type, the big,
Yes,
I don't know how
but
to describe it.
Yeah, to build
the-
like the central support in it. Yeah.
Yeah, like that
this-
kind of shit,
yeah.
but like obviously connected to the.
but connected, and instead of like where you usually think of be a large base and then it would like sort of like rise up and then go out again like a tree.
Yeah.
This seems almost like a straight cylinder.
Given
it's
what we're
wider
looking at, does
than
it
it
look
should be.
like there this mining excavation has taken place straight down into the river itself?
It looks like certainly part of it has, yes.
Okay.
They must be mining something which needs water.
Good.
Is there a higher concentration of people here
There
than
are
on the
indeed.
gate?
Yes, there are indeed. As this is the actual middle of the facility, you see a number of civilians and orderlies moving about, some in workers' overalls, some obviously in like light suits or whatever, with tablets and various data slates, taking notes or milling around and having a read or whatever. As this facility continues to run as a mining operation, you see it's a lot more populated here.
This is no secure hangar.
Depending on how deep that water is, we could sneak up in our mechs.
I would like to survey the rest of the base
Yes,
first.
that's what I've been saying since last session.
No, that is a very good idea.
The other side of the base that you can now partially see over the river sort of mirrors what you've seen on this side. Only without the training field, you see a large runway up one side instead.
Makes sense.
And a number of helicopters and transport aircraft, like large shuttles, almost dropships, or some sort of large not dropships, large cargo freighters on that side,
Hangers.
hangars.
Things may be
I'll,
more complicated than we think.
I'll do it in black. Just I'll do it in green.
Hmm.
Sort of looks like that. Maybe not that wide. This is all like roughly not to aspect. And a number of hangars
Mm-hmm.
sort of leading onto that runway. If you're approaching from this sort of like blue arrow is. Imagine you're like looking at it from like sort of this direction.
Okay.
If that makes sense. This is not to scale.
That's totally fine.
Paul,
Mhm.
can Dougal's thinking to himself, and he's doing a scholar check.
Mhm.
He's thinking along the lines of, a mech can carry a freight container.
Mhm.
How far can it throw one?
God.
Throwing and carrying. You think your mech could throw a container perhaps 10 to 15 meters, perhaps 20 if you got a real good solid grounding on it. You know, you had time to properly calibrate.
Yeah.
Also
that-
depends what's in the container. You know, if the container is fully laden, it's going to
Yeah.
be a lot less. Carrying's a lot easier because you can lock the servos in place, whereas throwing very much it's a lot more strain on the structure of the mech and the actual pistons and servos moving the ligaments and so on.
If the container's over there, then this truly complicates things.
What if... Whatever this is important to all corporations. Yaroslav's going to want to get this off-world probably pretty soon. Especially if they've already been... if they've already found evidence of another corporation trying to get in here. Perhaps what we could do is attempt to somehow tap into their communications. Try and find out if there's a schedule for when they're planning to fly in some sort of large aircraft or some sort of vehicle to take it off world. And that's when we hit it. Because if this container is still within the facility, given how expansive it is, I don't think it's very possible to obtain it. However, if we can manage to get it while it's either stored in a hangar on that airfield, or, slightly more risky, wait for it to be loaded in, shoot down the aircraft.
We can compromise destroying the container.
That's true, actually.
And I do not want to risk a single shot going wide on our whole mission.
I think
No.
we should survey the base
Should
this
track the
side.
last. But
we
I
should
think
survey
it's perhaps best to try and obtain it when it's being moved. Or at least is brought up topside.
Da.
If I was Yarosov, I would be keeping it deep inside the facility until it's almost time to move it.
Da.
I have a theory. This
Oh.
side is a military encampment, mining facility over the water, and as you're clearly saying, extraction the south side. I'd like to survey this side to see what possible distractions we can have. At the same time, work our way back round to here and potentially heading south of the river. I don't know about you gents, but if time is of the essence, then I don't plan on going to sleep anytime soon, and I crack a wee vial and start pouring kick into my eyes.
It's a good time. Can we have a kick?
Yep.
Which keeps a pilot awake and alert for up to 30 hours.
I have
Yep.
I have idea. We want distraction, da?
Yes, but we need to find out what we can distract them with.
I have
The
idea.
comms chatter is a good thing, though.
I have idea.
Quick question. Sorry to interrupt you, Sergey.
That's okay.
Um, is tapping into comms like literally just fucking sitting on a radio and just constantly changing the frequency till I find something? Is that something like anybody could do, or is it like much more like you need like someone like Sergey to like do some bullshit?
I think we can all do it.
Certainly, there are low-level comms that you could attempt to tap into just by time and effort by doing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But you think the comms for a base like this probably require somebody like Sergey.
Okay.
I'd imagine Delicate Materials would have encrypted channel.
Yeah.
Definitely, the more analog forms of communication around the base do exist, and you could tap
Yeah,
into
yeah.
them. But I think what you're looking for is probably something Sergey would have to do.
No.
True. I think I would like to. Sergey, when we get back to the max,
Mhm.
I think it'd be good if you could begin tapping into whatever the more encrypted comm chatter would be. At the same time, I would also like to myself tap into the more lower level stuff because who knows if some menial guards on patrol just happen to be fucking chatting about how the big box is getting shipped out tomorrow. You
Yeah.
never know.
Bosses on edge, running up my ass.
Yeah, like
Hmm.
people talk.
Must be some big wig coming in from off-world.
Yeah.
I was
It's like,
like,
oh,
is
did
it?
you hear
Really?
so and so is coming in like 2 days time? It's like,
Did
oh,
you
okay,
did
someone's
you know
coming
that
in 2 days.
did you know that Yarosov was coming himself to look at this box? Okay.
John Yarosov?
Chuck, yeah, sir.
Yarosov of the Yarosov Corporation. Okay. That
You
does
know,
yeah. I have idea. How much of a destruction do we need?
that's yet to be determined. We don't know what else is in the base that
So-
we can use to cause a distraction.
Oh, so if base is not in the central building, if box is not in the central building, couple of well-timed explosions, some of those support structures, could put the whole base in the river.
That was the first idea, but we don't want to risk destroying the container.
That. So we have to check where the container
We
is.
find
I'm
out
thinking,
for absolute certainty where the container is, then perhaps. But if we find out the container's not in the central structure, that means it's probably on the airfield waiting for extraction. In which case, I don't think there'll be a lot of time to be causing such a large-scale distraction.
oh, remote detonations,
I-
easy. Paul, you're
You
gonna
have
That's
to
right.
go
send
and plant
No,
the
no, go
bombs.
ahead.
It takes a lot of time.
Serge, I
Sneaky
would
deaky.
rather not destroy the entire base. I would rather be destroyed an ammo dump or the helicopters or the fuel supply.
What about a nuclear explosion? We have spare mechs.
Jesus Christ.
No. Hear me out, right?
He's not wrong, Sir Nigel.
The couple of a mile out, in the other direction, nuclear explosion. That's going to draw a lot of attention.
Okay. I thought you meant the base.
No. Too many casualties.
Remember, we still don't know what's
Too
up
many
in the north.
casualties? You just talked about sinking the entire central structure.
Yeah, he wanted to
People
bury
s-
thousands in the river.
People can swim.
Underwater,
Da.
inside a sealed container that's flooding.
Ah, yeah. It's a,
You ever
oh,
watched
yeah,
Pearl
oh,
Harbor?
yeah. Okay. I never watched the Pearl Harbor. I watched I watched All Quiet Over the Western Front. That is a good movie.
As Serge is saying this, I don't know if he needs to roll a spot check, but I've like crawled backwards and like fucked off. I'm heading north. I pulled a Nigel.
Video. Very good.
I don't
being
think I
said,
would even
gents.
see it. I don't even think I would see this. I'd be like, good movie, and I turn around and there's no one left around me. Hello?
I
Hello?
didn't actually move. I just put my camel cloth on.
Yeah, I had my
Ah.
cloak on. That's why I was lying prone.
Okay, very well.
That being said, Nigel, if you're doing communications, I'm going to come back to this point. If we still don't know where the container is, and just observe.
No.
That's good. In that case, I would like to. I want to head back to the mechs,
That's what
and I
I
want to
please.
proceed to just sit and spend maybe the next like day or maybe 2 days, just setting like my fucking little shitty radio thing, just like till I can like pick up like local comm chatter and just listen.
Are you
Okay.
going
If I
right now?
catch anything. Uh, are we not?
I thought you were sticking together. No, but we still have the northern encampment to search. And basically,
Isn't the north just
no,
basically the training field?
No,
yeah, but there may be something else further around.
Oh, like on the western side of the base?
Yeah, on like the northern side of the river, on the western side of the base. My
no.
plan was to
Ah, okay,
go
yeah,
back,
yeah, sorry, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
head
Oh, yeah,
east
yeah, okay.
10 minutes, and then head north, and then come back and head west and survey the top, and then see the base from the other side. I'm looking for a chink in the armor or anything tasty.
Okay.
No.
But I'm basically going. I thought we were staying together, man.
You are vanished.
We've not
Map.
even looked at the north base. Never
A
mind
map
the
of
south.
judgment. Yes,
Ah.
no, let's fully scout before heading back.
By all means, I can cross the river by myself and then go scout the south base while she's are tinkering. But I think this is a military compound on this side of the river, where all the mechs are. So all support wouldn't go on this.
Yeah, no, I'll come.
Very good, very good. So you're heading north to circle around the north side of this base, yes?
Yes,
Yep.
please.
Yes.
10 minutes east, head north, and then come back.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you said we took an hour to walk west. I don't want to just walk across the road in front of the gate.
10 minutes would take you to this top corner of the base, I would say.
Okay.
No, I mean like 10 minutes east, and then start heading north.
Yeah, so we go like further deeper into the forest again, so we're
Ah.
further from the base. Then
Right.
head north for like quite some time. Then head
Oh,
back.
okay.
I-
Sorry,
I-
sorry.
I don't want to
Yikes,
walk
yes.
across the
Yeah,
main
we don't
road in
want to
front
skirt along
Sorry.
the edge of the base. We want to be really far
I
from
see
the
it.
edge of the base.
I see what you're saying now. Yes, no
of
problem.
tourists with the camera. Nice place.
You,
Picking up what we're putting down.
I get it now. Yes, I get it now. I don't know why I misunderstood that. You head east deeper into the forest again, and then continue heading north until you start to head into the Great Redwoods again.
No.
It's a much different experience traversing this on foot than it is in mech. You have to move over, small streams. What was small undergrowth that you just marched through, comes up to your knees. Now it has to be shoved through. Sometimes you have to climb over low-hanging roots that you would have stepped over.
No, fuck this.
Hmm.
Fucking hate this.
On foot is a lot more challenging than in a mech. However, you continue heading northward. Only the resistance of the forest slowing you. At what
Paul,
point? Yes, go ahead.
can you define to me in the world on a survival kit and so on?
Anything that you would have realistically have in a wilderness survival kit for this environment. So
Climbing gear?
potentially, yeah. If you think you would have some sort of rope and grapple to climb trees, yeah, makes sense. You would carry that.
Like the usual wrap it all the way around and hitch onto a waist belt and then walk and flip up and then walk and flip
Like
up.
lumberjack thing.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely have something simple like that. Yeah.
I am just spotting at redwoods, thinking, and then it's like, right, maybe we'll get a better vantage up there if we can't see anything.
That could be better actually. Find a big ass redwood. Get to the right top.
Still want to head to the west side of the base
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
because we want to see that waterfall from the other side.
Very well. As you head around the west side of the base, you sort of think you become curving towards the west. You'd be at the north side right now. You should sort of come along that direction. To get any good view of the base, you would have to approach closer. Or you can stay deeper in the forest. You can still sort of see the outline of it, so you think, right, that's the corner there. Okay, there's another gatehouse. Every 200 meters. Not all of, like the big pittance, not pittance, the big watchtowers. Some of them don't have any watchtowers. Some of them maybe have small like guard posts that go over the gate itself, almost like a bridge. As you reach the north side, you come around. You see the training field again for the Lancer pilots, and then further behind that, which is hidden from before, you see a large hangar, generally rectangular in shape, rectangular, with the good old semicircle roof, sitting some ways not off the base but not on the base. A number of smaller substructures surround it, 1 and 2 story buildings. This hangar is massive. It's maybe 4
Where
stories
they
high,
keep the
5 stories
Lancers.
high.
Yeah, that's where they keep the mechs.
This looks like where they keep the Lancers. And then any sort of, guard stations, armories, weapons depots, you think of maybe in these outlying buildings surrounding it. You see a number of smaller garages with trucks and so on, and, armored jeeps.
Just to check, we haven't actually seen any of their Lancers, have we?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, they could be in the northwest sector right now, fighting another corporation and blowing the shit out of them.
You,
For all we know.
you do remember, however, that Mr. Borax did tell you that Yarsav currently has 2 flights of Lancers stationed here.
So we've got 24 Lancers against 4.
That's
Against
why this is
8.
an infiltration.
I believe your reaction was, we can take them.
Yeah, but that was Sergei's reaction, not
Yes.
Nathan's reaction.
Yes.
Nathan's reaction
Hence why
is,
he-
oh,
Do you remember what he briefed the mission as?
sneaky dick.
Smash and grab.
Well, to be fair, the other people that tried to smash and grab, I don't think had a good time.
Oh, who knows if they were here to smash and grab? They could be some separatists.
Well, they got fucking smashed and grabbed themselves, so.
Surge. I'd mark that. Oh, sorry. Whilst we're traveling around, I am literally doing what you've literally done in roll 20 and just like drawing out wee small hut buildings on like a. Try and think of an actual app to do it, but basically like wee small buildings to try and lay out a sand table on my PDA.
Yeah, you've got like a satellite image of the area, and you're basically drawing over it more accurate outlines. Makes sense. No worries.
That could be priority 1 right there for distraction there, Surge. Can you automate a mech to what?
Your mechs, I believe, have
We got that
Con
AI.
class AI. So yes, I
Yeah.
believe so.
That
Could
easy
build the
peasy.
same shit that you built out in the desert. See for the
Yeah, I could do that.
coolant. I would like to climb a redwood. For perspective, I am assuming we're up here, if you can see the ping.
Yeah, I'd say roughly anywhere between there and either side of that. Yeah.
I'd like to, and the red line's still the fence.
The red line is the outer fence.
Yeah, and it blowing off here.
Sort of the grey line
It's
is where
still
it's sort
proper.
of. Yeah, the grey line is sort of where it's actually like, there's more concrete on the roads, the grass is cut, stuff like that.
I still think nuke surge detonated here could cause a severe amount of damage to that hangar with a lancer. Maybe shock them a bit. Something to pull them out, head north.
The problem is, you detonate nuke here, everything's going to fucking go up, including our box.
Do you think that we keep the container inside the lancer? Sorry, inside the mech hangar?
No, but I mean everything. Like every direction. And these are Oneida class mechs. They are not exactly radiation proof.
So, how far back would you detonate?
Could I give a reasonable answer for that, Paul?
Can
I
you?
don't think Surge is a reasonable person for explosions, so you give whatever answer Surge would give.
Like maybe like 50 feet. Like past the
50 feet?
past
That's such a
the.
fucking small difference. How can that make
walls-
it?
Okay.
It's like
No,
how
it's
can
20
No, that
feet.
judging
It'll
judging
be
like
fine, and
judging-
you'll destroy everything.
I
judging
think
Sure,
judging
sure.
like
20 feet.
judging like the explosion that we dealt with before from like the other mech
do
exploding.
you think a surge metric might be half a click to 3/4 of a click out?
How about half a click?
That-
Nah. Half
That
a
is
click.
what surge thinks.
Half a click.
How far
Ah.
away were we when the shit went off in the desert?
Like two
Were
meters.
we not like 3k away? Were we not?
Like 3 or 4 clicks, yeah, and you still felt it a lot.
We
Yeah, we got knocked on our asses.
Yeah, we still got sunburned.
So you all remember that like it was yesterday.
If I-
because you've
it
been in
was.
cryosleep
It
for God
was.
knows how long, so it pretty much was.
My
Yeah.
my favorite part about that was don't the way. Even if you close your eyes and face the other direction, you will still be able to see it. It will go through your brain, and you'll be able to see it from the other side. It's good light.
Yeah.
It's pretty light.
Purest of light.
Yeah. So surge says,
You don't
about
even.
750 meters.
Yeah, 750 meters or so.
So from the tree line.
It will knock down a lot of trees though.
I don't care about that. We're
No,
not
but-
going to be here.
Nah.
Are you an environmentalist now?
No, but if they will need to be even further back so that they don't see us. And it's going to mean that
Yeah,
our
like
approach
the
is
op-
going
We
to...
Out
won't
of the
be
pit.
here at all.
Okay. Okay.
We might not be here at all. If the container is on the south side of the river, this is a major diversion.
Nah, I suppose.
But we've yet to ascertain where the container is. And as he says this, I am still preparing the rope and planning on lumberjack climbing the redwood.
Yeah, no problem.
Do you need me to roll for like
Roll
how
me,
fatigued I get?
roll me for some sort of athletics just to see how long it takes you. You certainly will climb it at some point. You know. does it
Remember,
take-
I am still just. I am
Does it
puffed
take
up on
you
two.
an hour? Does it take you half an hour? I don't know if being high as fuck gives you bonuses for climbing.
Reduce fatigue, shorten reaction times, heightened senses allowance. Casual, just occasionally provokes rage in some users. I put that to your discretion.
Yeah.
He climbs a tree using his fingernails.
So
I
I
am on
could,
steroids, you know.
I could see it helping you, like catching ledges where you might fall, but I also see it hindering you where you grab a ledge too quickly that you haven't properly thought about, and then fucking it gives way. I don't know.
Right. 1d20 plus 2, as in my grit.
Yeah.
My aggression, that's slightly stemming. I am making derogative comments to Serge saying, do you know that your eyes actually see upside down and your little brain flips the image? And now if you hung upside down for a day, your eyes would revert back and then your brain wouldn't be able to cope.
Then you're fucked. My eyes don't see.
That's actually true, by the way.
My eyes don't see pictures.
What was that, Haggy?
Now I'm saying that's actually true.
Yeah, it is. But also, yeah, you do climb this tree. It takes you a bit more time than you expected. You think maybe, 15, 30 minutes I could get up to a decent height. But you reach that height, and you look about, and you think, my vision's still obscured by this tree, and I can't quite see around this branch. Maybe I'll try another one. So it takes you roughly half an hour to get to a branch you're happy with, where you can get a good overlook of the base. You're not overlooking the entire base. Some of the middle structures spanning the river are still taller than you, and certainly the power
Oh, yeah,
relays
yeah, yeah.
and other ones are still definitely higher. But you have a good overview of definitely the north side of the base.
Thank you for actually giving me more than what I was bargaining for. I was basically like the north compound, but cool. You can see a bit of the central spire.
Yes,
Spot
you can-
check?
Go ahead.
Or-
Go ahead. Roll a spot check.
Oh,
You don't see much more than that. However, you're kind of high and you've just climbed a tree, so you're sort of seeing everything, but you're not really focusing on anything.
And
You're
then you
seeing too
remember he's
much.
afraid of heights.
Hmm.
You're like, oh, there's that detail there. Oh, is that a lancer over there? Okay, there's a route goes that way. They have armored cars there. You're not really picking out any details. You're more just seeing everything. Does that make sense?
I'm just very annoyed at Serge. Just
So
angry.
it's still at the bottom of the tree, I imagine.
Oh
Or
yeah,
have you
just
guys moved
looking.
on?
I'm just looking at him, yelling at me.
That doesn't matter. I can just still hear him in here.
Man,
Imagine
it's
I'm
like
just like
being at work.
nestled in the nook of some roots with my camel cloth around me.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
I
Alright,
see.
no,
Diddly.
no worries. I assume you stay here for some time, just observing the base.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking for like security patrols, any distinctive buildings. Try to pick out what buildings what. So as door processing, that's furnace, that's the hub block. That might be admin or hospital. Don't know.
Hmm.
Try
Yes.
to see
So
try to see anywhere like middle management would go, as
after
you put
about,
it.
I'd say 20 to 30 minutes of sort of just, staring and looking and taking notes and peering about, um, you can give me another spot check.
Throw on the dice.
Ooh.
3 questions. Let's have them.
How the fuck?
That's
And
not a
I'll
question.
give.
That's not a question.
It is not a question. 3 questions. I'll answer them honestly.
Hmm.
Do
You'll have to
I
ask,
see?
where is the box?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to be as candid as that.
You can ask me that, and I'll tell you where you think the box is.
Honestly,
But it'd have to be something you'd be able to see from this location, and you certainly cannot see the box.
yeah.
Damn.
I'll not count that.
Do I see a heavily secured building?
Yes. It wasn't clear from the riverbank as you were looking in under the bridge, but the outside of the main structure is actually heavily secured. You see heavy steel bulkhead doors at the north, and then both at the east and western sides of this northern point of it, with 2 guards either side,
Hmm.
and no discernible windows
Hmm.
until you reach the 2nd or 3rd floor of this building, and then you see some. It seems unreasonably secure for a mining outpost.
Almost more like a bunker.
Hmm.
Could be the place where they put the container. Could be the underground passage.
That security is the entire central structure, like the entire uh, like this fucking like big thing here, the entire thing.
Oh shit!
The other buildings are definitely less secured, as they're just like general standing brick buildings or some sort of prefab. Even the what you think to be the Lancer hangar seems less secure than the central structure.
Hmm.
Certainly looks like you could break into a lot easier, judging by roughly how thick hangar walls are and so on.
Interesting. Question number 2. Do I see an ammo dump?
You do. In between what what looks to be the military compound and the actual Lancer training field itself, you see a large, fenced off, almost like dump area. Like you could do with the skips, and it's sort of like a large indent into the ground, raised wall and so on. You see, it's one of those, but it's got fucking camouflage netting over it, and it looks like it's got stacks and stacks of prefab ammunition boxes. But instead of painted like the normal armory green you'd be used to, they're painted more of like a Yarosov red and orange camo pattern.
Because these are Ruskies.
So that's there, yeah?
Yes, yeah, I would say that's pretty close.
Excellent.
Ammo.
Ammo.
Question. Oh, there you go.
You don't see any heavy weaponry in that, so you're not looking at racks of tank shells or racks of basically tank shells, ammunition for Lancer assault rifles. You're not seeing Lancer equipment in there.
Oh.
You see probably rocket launchers, grenade launchers, racks of rifle ammo, heavy machine gun ammo, the odd spare parts for like Humvees or various armored jeeps. You're not seeing like fucking Lancer grade equipment.
Yeah. It's an infantry ammo dump, basically.
Infantry ammo dump, yes, basically.
Question number 3.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing as the base is hydro-powered, Lancers are fusion coil-powered, what is the troop movement around the compound of the base? Is there vehicles as well as guards that stationed at post?
Yep, you see a couple of armored jeeps moving about, turrets on top, heavy machine guns mounted, patrolling the more serviceable parts of the base, not like the outer gate, outer fence, more like the roads running around the base. Outside of the Lancer housing, the ammo dump, around the player field, and then down to the river, then along the river, and then out round the center structure, and then back around the river again, and then up. The guard patrols don't seem to transfer to the other side of the river at any point, but they do look like almost like civilian contractors, like a PMC company. There's nothing heavier than an armored jeep currently that you can see.
Can I roll a spot again to see more questions?
Give me a second longer because I'm telling you more stuff. But
Sure.
from the other side, from the south side of the river, you do see a helicopter take off and begin circling southwards. Head southwards, and you sort of can catch it in the distance, glinting through your scope as it circles a wide area. And then you can continue to wait another 20 minutes, and you can make another roll if you wish.
I'd like to.
Go ahead, make me another
It
spot.
depends if the roll's nice. So,
Dougal!
Well,
Psst! Dougal!
it is.
yeah.
Dougal! Do you see what they are mining?
I pop an acorn or whatever root seed from the tree and just hold it over and drop it
Bunk!
towards her.
Yeah. 2 questions. Whatever you want.
2 questions. Question number 1 is, do I see a discernible point for anybody entering into the bridge or access to the main spire over the river?
Oh, sorry. The heavily defended part that I said at your first question was access to the main spire and the bridge over the river.
Right.
Okay.
Sorry, that was the answer to the first question. So there's like a gate here, a gate here,
Sorry. Yeah.
and a gate here, which are like Lancer sized. Have guards stationed outside in like almost small bunkers. There's no windows on the first 3 floors of the main spire, but there are floor 4 and above. It's almost like a wall of sheet metal.
Yeah, that makes the next 2 questions very easy then.
So you still have that question because that should have been answered in the first one. Sorry you didn't get that.
Well, question 1 for Serge. Is there any central spire comms really that I can see in this compound? Like any giant antenna mast that may or may not be. Like there's loads of relay ones on top of the guard posts, but is there like a main one?
Yes, there certainly is. You see in the central spire, almost wrapped around one of the massive flumes, like chimneys leading up out of it. You see a comm relay almost wrapped around it like a snake, coiling up until its top. You see it's almost been trying to be hidden as a chimney or part of the chimney. But is that
Make note of it that it's there and add footnote. Difficult to access. Potential shot by Met.
seems fair?
And then number 3. Sorry, not number 3. Last question. Fuel dump for refueling the tanks, the jeeps.
Yeah. As you look throughout the northern side of the compound, there are a number of small fuel stations, almost like petrol stations. Not big forecourts, but like small pumps here and there, where they could refuel small ground cars, jeeps, trucks, and so on. There are a number of them spread out.
Good. Smart bastards.
Yeah. You imagine it'd be sort of similar on the other side of the river, perhaps. Only
These guys are not rookies because they've spread all the volatile stuff apart from small arms and the anti-tank. Fair enough.
Clever.
I'd like to descend.
so around this time, it's sort of getting into evening time outside. It's probably 8 or 9 o'clock. Well, yeah, you've all got fucking watches and datapads. It's 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Not exactly 9, but 9, 5 to 9. Depends
Yeah,
when it catches your eye. You see a glinting red in the darkening night sky. Dougal, as you begin descending the tree.
Glinting red.
A glinting red dot.
And where is this at?
Aircraft.
I look at it
It
through my
is-
scope.
Coming in from the east. As you look at it from your scope, you see the outline of a large shuttlecraft. A large cargo transport. It's coming in.
Okay.
I secure off the fasten, and then would like to proceed to use drop the rope bag and then down quickly
Yep, no problem.
to the
You
ground.
hit the ground.
Complication, gents.
No?
There's a large class shuttle coming in on approach right now.
Bliat. Reinforcements?
Could be, or it could be extraction. By the size of the thing, probably 12 hours tops. Turnaround for cargo and embarkment and disembarkment. Don't know how good these boys are at getting stuff moved.
Probably refueling as well.
So, whoop, from here, this goes like the central access through the bridge to get to the south side if you don't want to get wet. They have loads of patrols moving around internally. Fuel dumps are sporadic, so they're smart. They've not collated everything. One thing that they haven't done is that all the small arms fire and ordnance is in behind the wall. It's about 200 yards in behind the central compound, so that way they can run past and run up to the walls should they ever come under attack. Other than that, there is one the main comm mast. Try to obscure the dish in behind the smoke stack here, and the smoke actual stack itself. So if we need them to go dark, the only way we're getting that is if we shoot it with the lancers.
Okay.
I don't know if your I don't know if your nuke blast is going to be enough to disrupt that, but
Okay.
You would be aware, Sergei, that such things are EMP shielded. It probably would disrupt the signal for a small second, but could not prevent it for any lengthy period of time.
Secondary. It might be better
Okay.
just to physically break it.
yeah.
You know?
My next plan of action, I'm thinking, is that I would like us to head back to the mechs. We're going around to the west side of the base and the encampment. Well, Paul, since I was up in the tree, do I notice that this is actually like the water drops at all, or is it just a small rapid?
Doesn't
Or is it a cliff after the base, or is it?
seem to be. The water doesn't
So it's
seem to
all
drop
flat to
any
quality.
noticeable way. It seems to be fairly flat. Yes. It does
Alright.
slope down, but it's not a steep decline.
I don't imagine we'll get anything else from the other side of the base. If we do, it's our loss. But I'm heading back to the mech, and I'm heading across that river. And I may go on foot again and try and recon the airfield. I still don't know where the container is, but like you said, Nigel, if it's going to be anywhere, it will be inside that central facility. So we may have one chance to smash and grab whilst they're trying to disembark it.
I think that's the best play. Sergey sets up distraction.
Hmm.
We watch. We wait. On visual confirmation of the cargo container being transported out of the main facility, or perhaps wherever it is. Once we see it, Sergey sets it off. Second that bomb goes, we're in. Smash and grab.
No.
Hopefully in that short delay, they won't have time to communicate that there's an attack from the south as well.
Set the bomb off just far enough, it might be able to wait to just take out that side of the base entirely. But they would have to be
That
very
being said,
precise. Very
if you're
precise.
going back to get, if you're going back to get another mech to program to do this and plan on the C4, we need to act fairly
Okay.
quickly.
I go do that now. You guys keep scoping. You
Well,
keep me in contact.
I don't want to tell Gav though to scout eastwards along the river to see if there's a better point for crossing, because we're going to be booking it.
Oh,
Okay.
da.
Gav gives the affirmative. He'll begin doing that now.
Alright, so we've transported back to the mechs, right?
Yeah, it takes about an hour and a half to get back to the mechs from your current location.
Mhm.
Since you're traveling on foot and still fairly stealthily.
Mhm.
As you do so, the glinting light at the distance is now enlarged, and you see it as a large, triangular-shaped shuttle coming into land on the southern airfield.
Ah, like
Yeah.
the picture.
Like the picture.
Nice.
Like Avatar.
Foreshadowing.
As you reach your mechs, you see it pass over you, a large whale, moving almost too slowly for its size, as it comes into land. Engines roaring a deafening sound as the trees shake around you and birds flock to the away from it as far as
That'll take time to turn and refuel and stuff.
you make it to your mechs.
Okay.
Please first enter their mech.
Me?
Yeah.
Sure, that's fair. You're hopped up in drugs. As you enter your mech, powers on again. The AI pops up. Hey, Juanita, welcome. Google.
I don't like how accusatory it is.
Bing, bing. Contact detected. 4 clicks. Ding, ding,
Position?
ding. South.
Ah, across the river.
Hostile?
IFF unknown.
Hmm.
Could be
Well,
rebel
let's go
operation
find
being
out who they are.
Yeah.
Very well.
Um.
You all mount up and receive similar pings on your own
Mm-hmm.
mechs as the passive sensors come on and detect. Stops.
Okay.
What would you like?
I would like to use my mech talent, if that's possible,
Oh, go ahead. What is it?
for the first time. It's not really a combat scenario, but I would like to use the infiltrator talent. First class pro means that if I'm moving, even if I go into the line of enemy sights, I am not detected unless I stop dead in them. I don't know if it's more of a combat thing, but it's basically if I am a turn in enemy line of sight, I am no longer hidden, but basically I can hide in plain sight, moving around.
I'm gonna say if you could narrative it that it makes sense to me, then it's fine.
Bear in mind, when I first got into the mech, I rolled about in shit tons of mud,
This is true.
and it's getting darker.
This is true. Yep.
I did that for a purpose. There wasn't just for shits and giggles. I did.
He's got you there.
This is.
It's
true and
like
fair.
grey, fucking grey, and green foliage. Fuck.
So yeah, what would you like to do? Head south towards the river.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I if possible, before entering or submerging in there, I'd like to try and get a visual, just eyeball or even through the mech's iron sights or scope sights or whatever is on.
Are you trying to
The
run
assault rifle.
quietly at this point? Are you trying to run your mech at a low heat mode, low power mode to
Yes.
reduce the
Oh,
chance
yeah,
of you
no,
being detected on their sensors?
yeah. None of
Can-
my sensors are on apart from the base. Right, other than the thing that just told me contact detected. I mean, for all I know, it could be a fucking giant tiger.
From our from our like scanner, are we able to tell like what kind of speed these contacts are moving at?
If you wait for a few minutes and watch it, you can see that it's. You can tell it's moving roughly the speed of a mech. I'd say that. Through a forest, maybe 10 miles an hour.
Okay.
Doesn't seem like it's a high-speed object, shall we say?
Okay.
And was,
IFF unidentified, so we don't know if it's a tank or a truck or a mech.
and
But as you're,
which direction is
you're-
it going?
it seems to be heading east to west. As you're
Okay.
watching it, Nigel, your sensors on, you watch it fade and boop. It's not picked up anymore.
Bliat.
It falls
Which means
off your
it's
sensor field.
Out of range or it stopped moving? Does this pick up stationary things?
It picks up stationary things, which means
Oh, so it means it's
It has
It
gone
may-
dark.
it may have detected either your mech, or it may have picked up that it had been detected
Mhm.
and has decided to attempt to hide from you.
fair.
Okay. Uh, do,
Think like a submarine running silently almost.
Yeah.
okay.
Silent running.
I'm going to
Exactly.
pop to the bathroom for a little second. Please excuse me. Please
Oh.
keep going though. Please keep going.
No
Oh,
problem.
he's running back to get another mech anyway.
Yeah, I'm running back to get another mech anyway. It's fine.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
Whilst then me and Dougal are heading south, if we are, I presume, I would
you.
like to simultaneously be like just doing the, like trying to tap into, low level frequencies.
Okay. No problem. Can you make me some sort of tech roll for that?
I would love
And then
to.
we'll resolve it first, and then we'll hit you hitting the bank of the river. How about that?
15.
15. It's enough. You hack into a low-level frequency regularly used by the mining facility or mining outpost.
Mhm.
Some low-level guard facility, some foreman is talking to his workers. Go get those boxes moved. Make sure everything's accounted for in lot 37B. Are the refueling tankers ready yet? We've got
So they're
12
looking
hours.
out for like time. Oh, you're sorry about to say we've got 12 hours.
We've got 8 hours turnaround time in this baby before another one comes in and for the next 12 hours shift. Where are them? Where are those Lancer pilots? What are they doing? Don't go over there. Don't question. Just stick to your own work. Keep your nose clean. Stuff like that. Are you listening for anything particular? You have 2 questions.
I'm specifically trying to see if anybody mentions like a time for this shuttle to be taken off again.
So, do you think that the shuttle will
Yeah.
land about 10 o'clock? And
Okay.
an 8-hour turnaround time would mean the shuttle will take off at roughly 6 a.m.
Okay then.
At which point, from their thoughts, there will be another shuttle the next day. Seems like a regular occurrence.
Interesting. In that case, I would like to specifically try and listen for. I mean, I'm like very sure that if the cargo is mentioned, it won't be like by any kind of name. It'll be some sort of code,
Okay?
I would presume. Um, or
Potentially.
even alluding to it, you know,
You
like
hear a number of alludements. The odd worker's left his microphone on or left his radio on when he's talking to his mate. As he's moving his crane or something.
mm,
You hear one of them. A specific. a specific one sort of catches your ear as you listen. Hey, Jeff, I've never seen all this rubbish in my life. One day you're here, none of these fucking massive killing machines were about. Next week they're all here. 2 bloody flights of them, they say. Some hot shots from off-world. I hear that, Jeff. Heard they found something down the mine. Not that we'd ever get down that far, mind you. We're stuck up here. Well, who knows what they're doing in that mine? They don't even let us near that central structure. Could be anything down there. I heard somebody say it's aliens. Oh, it can't be aliens, Jeff. Aliens don't fucking exist. You know that, you twat? Do you think they're trying to transport it off-world? Fuck off, Jeff. You're mad. Why'd they try to transport that off the fucking cargo shuttle? You hear various tales. That's like one that stands out to you, but you hear various rumors of, oh, they've found something in the depths, or they've pulled another thing up out of these mines. Is it aliens? Is it some lost technology? Nobody really too sure. There's plenty of rumors flying about it, but nobody either thinks it's leaving on this flight, or if they do think leaving on this flight is told, what do you fucking know? It could already have left. Any of these boxes could be it, for as far as they know.
True.
So you hear a lot of rumors and speculation, a lot of workplace warehouse talk, shall we say? You don't hear anything specifically that would lead you to think that the box you're searching for, is like anywhere likely to be here than it already was.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Well, it's
These guys
fine,
just don't have that
because
sort of information.
our plan only begins with visual confirmation anyway. Not that we really know what it looks like, but
Looks like a large shipping container.
which I imagine there are a lot of anyway.
Probably about 70, 800 of them currently in between the warehouses beside the landing pad, waiting to be loaded. Yes.
Diggle sees the container and goes.
Okay.
See, it's
Which
like
fucking
the
what is
kind,
it?
it's the kind of thing where like it's gonna be like A or Z. It's gonna be like they will like fucking nobody will know about it. It'll just be like treated as a normal container,
Yeah.
loaded on by some fucking menial grunt who has no idea what he's doing, or it's gonna be fucking escorted by an entire flight of lancers.
Yeah, it's gonna be one or the other, and it's
One or
not,
the other.
and the one, no, it's gonna be both of them, and the one that where the lancers are escorting it is the decoy.
Ah, God.
You did hear from the conversations you listened to that there were lancers on the ground for this loading. Not a full flight, 2 of them, but they were on the ground overseeing it.
Which is odd, right?
Definitely sounds
Yeah,
off from
why
what
would they
they're
walk
saying.
over-
They, as far as they were concerned, lancers hadn't been here since maybe a month or 2 before, a couple of weeks.
Okay. So I have very good
Oh.
reason to think that it could be being loaded into this specific shuttle. Just from that, the fact it's odd that Lancer pilots are overseeing this, like, like loading.
I may have misphrased. I may have misspoke, or maybe I didn't explain it well enough. It's not that they're overseeing this specific shuttle; it's that they've been overseeing the shuttles for the past few weeks.
Okay.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay.
I may have
That's fine.
misworded that.
That's understandable.
Okay.
So there's always been 2 or 3 of them overseeing shuttles for the past few weeks, from what the workers say. Whereas before,
Right,
nobody
right.
really gave a shit, and there was just like a couple of Humvees,
Okay.
Right.
just in case anybody had stowed away or tried to slip something on board,
Yeah.
or slip something off into the base.
Okay. Well, that does not make it any easier.
Where the rest of the 24 Lancers are, you're no clearer.
Am I away on my mission at the moment?
You're sprinting through the woods in your mech, running
Excellent.
to get another one. Yes,
Excellent.
yes, you'll be
I'm
doing
happy
so
with
for the next 2 hours.
I'm happy with
Congrats.
that. Don't fucking okay. I'm
Excellent.
happy with that answer.
At this point, Dougal, Nigel, you had reached the riverbank. And dusk is sort of falling at this time, even though you're out of the canopy, it is still rather dark. And you don't see any distinct signs of a mech on the other side of the riverbank. Like, you don't see any just fucking standing there, is what I'm saying.
Ha. Okay.
What would you like to do?
I'd like to. Hmm. Do I, don't I, do I, don't I, do I, don't I?
Do it.
Fuck it. I'd like to place a mine at least 100 yards in front of my mech, go back,
Okay.
and then RFID tag it, and then disembark.
Okay. No worries. You do this. Yep.
As in, like, the mine is a mech class mine
Yep. No.
that we have.
Yeah. No. I'm aware. Yeah. You do this.
Yep. And then. Oh, sorry, Nigel's. Are you with me on the south side?
Yeah, yeah.
Do we both go in? I think it might be better. We've got more mechs back at the base anyway.
This is true.
Need to get visual comms at least or something like that. You managed to tap in their radios, nice. What'd you hear?
I relay what I deem the important snippets.
Yeah. The recency of the mech deployment. The fact that something's been found underground, but they're not really too sure what, or at least there's plenty of
Like the
speculation.
miners aren't allowed inside the central spire thing.
Hmm.
Where is the actual mine if they're talking about like that then?
Pretty sure it's that
Is
central big circle thing that goes into the river.
So there's going to be a mass exodus workforce? Oh no,
Okay.
they're no longer letting miners into the central spire.
Did it sound
is
like
what
they
you-
were they only recently weren't allowed into it anymore?
It sounds like it was only recently they weren't allowed into it. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah,
Interesting.
probably since they found whatever they found.
Pains me that it's still a shell game. Fuck it. We should go scout at least one or two of the hangars. Just in case it's already here and it is a shell game.
Yeah. Okay. Begin crossing the river, I guess.
So you're crossing the river to the south side, or are you traversing up the river?
think-
Crossing.
Pretty far.
Straight across.
Like we're pretty far from the base, so yeah, I think we'll just go straight, just walk straight across the river, like fucking
Yep.
Seymour Skinner.
Yep. Sounds good. You march your way across the river. The tide slowly, imperceptibly.
Excellent.
You arrive safely on the south bank.
Okay.
Sorry, I meant like do the whole mine thing on the south side.
Oh yeah, that's fine. No worries. You can do that.
You know, just in case anybody like walks up to the mine and goes, but before they get to my mine, they go.
Yep.
Just pop.
Radio. You do so on the south side. Perfect.
Yep. Disembark, go on foot.
Yeah. Once we get into trees, I presume.
Yep.
Okay. You begin heading west again towards the south side of this.
Should we bring the mic a
Uh,
bit closer? Because we were like same distance away on this side of the river. We're like an hour walk.
You are a good distance away from the outer walls.
So it
of
could
the
perhaps be
outpost.
an idea to bring the mechs a little closer, in case we
Yeah.
can very quickly retreat, grab them, get ready for combat.
Yeah. We should get within 20 minutes walking distance out.
Yeah, I think that's
That way it's a
like
sprint for
10
hill.
minutes. sprint.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're still
that.
running silently, I assume.
Yes. And
Yeah,
I
I'm
imagine
not-
like,
I've not-
like
I've
if,
not
if a mech can move stealthily, we're trying to do that. I imagine.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Like,
you can.
walking very
You
close,
move from
slowly,
cover
kind
to
of slow.
cover, and
Yeah.
you know, there's ways to disguise yourself even if you're a large object, especially when you're surrounded by large objects.
Nah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
'Cause I
problem.
also have the infiltrator thing, so
Somebody roll me a stealth then, please.
The infiltrator talent doesn't actually provide any extra, so it's the bog standard grit.
15,
It's just narrative
Oh,
by the sounds of it.
13, and 20. Okay, very good. Yeah, You draw your mechs within 20 minutes walking, I believe you said, of the outer perimeter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go seemingly undetected for the next while. Your sensors powered down to their lowest setting, not detecting anything within a close proximity to you. Apart from the other mech at your side, of course.
Okay.
Or
You reach your
disembark,
point,
step
you
around the mine, walk in.
disembark, yeah, and you walk up to the edge of the tree line again, and you see
Yep. Camel cloth.
rows and rows of lights leading on to this runway. Do you know, like the run-in lights?
Mm.
Uh, and on the runway itself, you see most of the runway has been cleared as the shuttle has landed and takes up a large amount of it. You see it slowly turn at the other end of the southern encampment, where heavy-duty forklifts and mech loaders, like large forklift mechs,
Mm.
currently moving individual crates and pallets of crates into loading areas, so they can be also loaded by a separate one onto the shuttle itself. You also see the two
Nigel,
lancers.
on you go, on you go.
The two lancers um, standing but halfway down the runway outside of the southern door of the central spire, just sort of standing guard, watching both sides of the shuttle. None of them are looking to the east. They seem
Mm.
to be looking mostly west, southwestish,
Okay.
southernly.
Is there
These
any?
lancers, by the way,
Yeah.
uh, look similar enough to yours because they're a similar spec, both Everest. However, they are a little different. They look a lot more like robotic, like Wally, sort of like this.
Oh, okay, that's
You can
cool.
see that they carry large assault rifles with them.
Mm.
Anything else you can't
Ooh.
really tell from this distance.
Okay. Um,
Nigel.
is there a particular what do you call it? Is there like a particular shipping crate that's like just by itself a little bit, maybe like close by these lancers at all, or
Doesn't seem
nah?
to be. No,
Okay,
no.
that's fine. Yes.
Nigel. Something's putting my mind off.
Mm.
Those are the first two lancers that we've seen here.
Yeah.
And you said there was a flight, and the miners don't know where the rest of them have went.
2 flights.
When I was up in the tree, there was a helicopter that took off, but flew south. The tracks we found heading northwest. What if they're actually holding the crate somewhere else, further south, and the other 22 lancers are down there?
Fuck.
That's not impossible, but I still think the Central Spire is the most heavily defended facility in the area, and nothing else came up in the satellite imaging.
Yeah.
Unless they're going for minimal, what's the word? Unless they literally have it just sitting in the middle of the forest, surrounded by 2 flights of lancers.
Yeah, it could be buried somewhere, because as our hockey idiot friend pointed out, you could sink that facility.
He
Why
did
would you
say he
store
could.
someone in that facility?
He did say he could sink the facility. From the
Whether he could actually
ordnance,
do it.
from the ordnance you have, you think if you detonated maybe 6 nukes, you could probably do it.
Yeah,
You don't
easy.
think Sergei actually has the armaments to sink the facility without going to that level?
Sure, it'll be fine. I could do it.
Well, if they are keeping it somewhere to the south, a shuttle like this is still the only way they're getting it off planet.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just worried that we may have bit off more than we can chew. I hope Serge is on his way to getting that nuke prepped.
hopefully.
Serge, indeed, about this time you would have made it back to your staging area. I assume you're currently clambering over one of the mechs, plugging in commands to the onboard AI to
Oh yeah.
follow you and then walk to your destination.
And this is the one I'm also building as a bomb. So,
How are you building a bomb when you're detonating a nuclear device? How are you making that explosion bigger?
it is the nuclear device.
Exactly, yes.
So it's the same situation as the last time. Second verse, same as the first.
Okay, so
Yeah.
sorry, that's not what I thought you're adding more explosives
No,
onto it.
no,
Sorry.
there's
No,
nothing I can add
you're-
that's more.
You're tampering with the cooling system
Yeah,
again
tampering-
to make
yeah,
it
I'm
explode
fucking-
on a detonation. Yeah,
yeah,
no worries.
exactly.
You begin doing this.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm tampering with the cooling system. I'm essentially cracking the safety case around the nuclear reactor and just putting a
Um,
bit of C4 in there.
The nuclear reactor is a black box. You
Exactly.
cannot damage that thing. So hence you have to sabotage the coolant system to force it to
Okay.
basically go into a state of overload before it then eventually explodes.
I'm happy with that. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, and then I'll have once I'm done with that, I will have the AI follow me back.
No worries. No worries. It's all
I
good.
did read that it says that you have to be within 50 watt up, but to issue commands to the mech. So as long as you're within 50 when you give the order to what.
Or sprint
Cool.
towards it.
10 is 5 kilometers. So within 25 clicks.
Fucking hell.
A large distance.
Alright.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus,
Basically,
that's-
basically within radio distance. As long as you can communicate in some way with the AI on board, you can give it commands. That's how I read it, at least.
I'm happy with that.
Or you can also tell, like, give it a command, like detonate in X amount of time or something.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if it'll take commands to like detonate itself, but sure.
Yeah. Well,
No,
I
it
can
doesn't
just
need to,
I
because
just
he's
need to
got the
press a
switch.
button. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
press the
Oh,
kill
sorry,
switch.
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't.
Do you remember the rooftop? I do.
Do you not remember the sunburn?
So you successfully create this bomb, Sergey, and begin leading it back towards the mining outpost. You two on the ground, currently overlooking this large freight shuttle being loaded. Please roll me spot checks.
Roger, Roger.
Yay, good roll.
Okay. Between both of you, ask me 5 questions.
Fucking hell.
Jesus.
Fire away.
You can give up a few
Um.
questions if you want specific information you may not think to ask as well. Would rather that.
Okay, I think it's let's maybe forego 2 questions for some information we don't think of to ask.
Okay. Would you like that information now, or would you like that information after you ask a question?
Well, I can't think of any questions right now, so
Information now, understood.
I can.
if
but
you can, then wheel away.
Well, I can give you the information now, and then that might answer one of the questions you already had.
My questions all revolve around where and what is in the fucking box.
Well, you're not sure about that, but
Gwyneth
Two
Paltrow's head.
2 things you notice, let's say, before you question me any further. To the south of you, in the tree lines, further in, maybe 6 or 7 trees back, ever so often you catch the glint of metal. Like something large and grey is moving through those trees.
Wanna point
Seemingly
out a quick
moving from
camel
east
cloth
to
around me?
west. And then you don't know if you spot it again or you spot a separate one also moving east to west around
Okay.
the compound. But large grey shapes.
At least it's heading away from us.
They don't look like natural rock formations or anything. They're angular and jutting in some locations.
It's okay, you can say Max.
They're mechs. Second
Okay.
piece of information.
Mm-hmm.
The helicopter, Haggy, that you noticed earlier, circling to the south, you never noticed it return.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's all you
How
spot.
did can I ask questions for Dougal's character? Like,
Go for it.
Yeah,
could
I don't see
Dougal
why
make out like the exact like mech / model of the helicopter?
Yes, it was some sort of military transport helicopter.
Would he or either of us have like a rough idea of how long they can fly for on fuel?
They can fly for a good few hours on fuel, but they don't tend to stay out that long.
How long's it been?
It's been about 2 to 3 hours.
Would we have reason to believe it's flew somewhere else and landed, perhaps? If it's
Perhaps that, or perhaps something else has caused it to not return.
Hmm.
But remember, you didn't see anything else from your satellite imaging um,
yeah, like no
at a
other like
reasonable distance. You don't know of
clearing
anywhere
or
else it
base.
could land, unless it performs some sort of emergency landing.
Or was shot down.
Hmm.
Which is actually, now that I think about it, probably the more likely thing.
That technically that's an emergency landing too. It's a big emergency then.
Indeed, indeed.
Okay.
Dougal, any questions?
Is there?
2 more.
So there's Lancers.
Uh-huh.
There's two Lancers. There's Lancers off to the side. The helicopter down return. What is the foot traffic and vehicle traffic in the vicinity around the giant shuttle?
Fairly heavy, as multiple forklifts, mechanized forklifts like calf mechs with tracks, and large cranes begin moving shipping containers into position and begin loading them onto the back of this large shuttle. Militarily, there's maybe a couple of squads milling about with their armored jeeps, maybe 4 or 5. A couple out in patrol, a couple on the other side of the runway from the Lancers. It doesn't seem like the more small arms military force here seems to direct to the Lancers at all. They don't seem to be
And
working
then
together.
here's my. So I note that, and then I look more at the people that are in the bigger ordnance, and I'm looking for the one that everybody either salutes or the one that's shouting and directing, and try read the body language to see how pensive. Or if they're like, yeah, just put it over there, or if they're like, you go this way, no, not far. Like,
They seem like they're highly engaged, but they don't seem like they're stressed. Well, they seem as stressed as anybody would organizing, the loading of a large freighter like this way. He's in command of up to 300 workers. He's fairly stressed, but also he doesn't seem like he is rushing it, if you know what I mean. He's barking orders, he's foul mouthed, but he's not like shouting people to get it done on double time. He doesn't seem unreasonably stressed about the situation, shall we say. It doesn't seem like there's any higher stakes at hand for him currently than there are any other time he has to load a shuttle.
I would like to use one of my talents.
Go ahead.
I would
What is
like
it?
to
Pick
read the
someone out.
situation.
Go ahead. What does it allow you to do? Sorry.
Look for subtext, motives, threats in a situation or person, and the subtext and motive that I'm narratively going to say to Nigel is, if they didn't let the workers near this, why would they let the air freight staff near it? Or do you think they're playing extremely cool under pressure? And to let him assist, I would like to say, what do you hear on the radio now?
Good question.
Come
Uh,
on! Oh, that's a good roll.
oh yes. Okay. So what are you looking for? Give me 3 things that you're exactly looking for out of this rude situation.
Would they allow air freight staff near this fucking thing? Even though they're the most qualified, they didn't let the miners near it to lift it up out of the mine.
You don't believe so. You
Yeah,
think that
because
if anything's taking this thing out of here, it's a Lancer.
it's not sitting right with me just
Or
looking at this.
it's either leaving with a Lancer or it's leaving on a Lancer.
Do I see that the actual air freight staff are more pensive if, like, they've got a bit of animosity towards the Lancer crew of, like, these fucking stand-ups
Yeah.
coming in, bossing the shit out of us? What the fuck's going on?
They definitely do seem to be. However, it's toned down quite a bit by the fact that they're also in a giant mech standing next to them. So it's more of like sly digs. I would say Nigel notices this more than you over the radio. He probably hears sly digs and personal comments made more about answers coming in fucking over on us about kicking us out of our homes.
Taking
Thanks
our
for paying
job.
us well. You
Like see
know,
that jarhead go toe to toe with me when he's not in his tin can.
yeah,
Prick.
exactly. Stuff like that, but nothing ever said near anybody who would
Of
actually
course.
hear it, you know.
Or
Yeah.
But there definitely does seem to be some animosity there. They're not well liked or well received currently.
Okay.
Hmm.
which makes me think again that they have no fucking clue what's going on. And then last question for the subtext.
Mhm.
Are the mechs and the militarized guys, are they focusing on the tree lines or are they focusing on the workers? Let me give you some subtext. See, when the Olympics happened,
Yes,
the
I know.
police and the military were more interested in watching the stewards for terrorist attacks than the pundits coming through the door to watch the venues and the gigs. The
Yeah,
security was a more threat. The people that worked there, as general, were a bigger threat than.
from what you seem to gather, the normal security force, the small arms guys, are more watching the workers and the air freight staff. The Lancers, you can tell from the head of the mech scanning, it's scanning the tree line. They're not interested in whatever's happening below them or with the shuttle. They're focused on the tree line, especially south and west.
Hmm.
But the normal guys in Humvees and so on, some of them might pay to glance every so often, but it's not something they're watching. They're more focused inwards, making sure nobody's really acting up or stealing anything.
Nigel, I don't think it's here yet. If it was here, all these people wouldn't be here.
You might be right.
It may be one of the last containers loaded on, or there might be a bigger escort. Or it may not even be a cargo freight that takes out of here.
Hmm.
So we just wait, watch, or probably until this. If nothing changes in the way the shuttle gets loaded, then perhaps it's fair to say it's not on the shuttle.
I could wait the, like say, 8 hours, do you think? To see if anything happens. And if nothing happens, then
I
there's
did
still
hear
the
that
2 unanswered
there will be
possibilities.
another shuttle in 12 hours, was it?
Yes, anything above 12 hours.
Hmm.
So there will be more shuttles. Perhaps it's not this one.
We need to find out from Gav what the retreat line is like. There's still so many variables. The base in the northwest, potential outcrop in the southwest, where the helicopter went,
Helicopter
and
went
if there's an
south.
easier, sorry, south, and if there's an easier crossing from what Gav reports back further east.
I also think this group of potential mechs that we've noticed heading towards the west, if they're not the Lancers of Yarosov, could be another corporation trying to make a move.
Hmm.
In which case, it's even more important that we keep quiet.
I'm actually
How
just
long?
glad that we've managed to find the other mix.
How long do you observe?
Probably, if nothing.
Just give me a
Good.
max time. Because stuff will happen.
I'm gonna say, like, we will probably sit and wait until the shuttle gets fully loaded and leaves, unless something changes.
Okay.
Unless someone on the radio says, "Oh, they're kicking us off the line" or something like that.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah. Till something changes.
Okay. So we cut back to Sergey.
Mm-hmm.
Sergey, it's been some time. We've heard radio silence for some time.
Well, just go.
The odd ping from Gav that everything's going okay. He's still searching.
Mm-hmm.
And you complete your bomb, and you set it up, and you begin moving to the northern side of the outpost.
Ah, good.
Still radio silent.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I'd like to give him a little buzz on the radio. Can I do it so it's like,
Roll me attack.
yeah, you know what I'm trying to do?
Yeah, roll me attack.
Trying to do a sneaky deek. Can I do hack?
No.
I am technically hacking. I'm trying to generate an electrical signal so that it's undetectable
That's not hacking.
to anyone but its
That's
intended
encrypting.
recipient.
You're not breaking into a hard system or anything. You're attempting to send a message on the lowest frequency possible without being detected. It's not like you're, I don't think you're actually hacking
You
anything
can
or
use this
forcing
for
any
you
system.
can use this for hacking or safeguarding electronic systems.
Encryption.
Encryption.
Why not? Yeah, why not?
Thank you. I need all the help I could fucking get.
You certainly
Do you
do.
see what I mean?
You certainly do.
You see what I fucking mean?
Okay.
Come on! Come on!
Okay.
It makes it end more interesting though.
You're sitting in the long grass, watching this mirage, watching this play almost play out before you. Things move rhythmically, things are loaded on good time and in good order. Everything's done very professionally and pinpoint. And there's no major slip-ups. And then, bzz, bzz, you begin receiving the communication.
Under the quote.
I immediately know it's like
It immediately comes up as Sergey.
I shut it off.
Okay?
If it's like a call typing or whatever, I literally turn it off. And mother fuck's sake under my breath.
Dougal?
He could be in trouble.
Not my problem.
He could be asking himself the bomb right now. I'm reading it.
Okay, you open the communications with Sergey.
Bomb's ready. Making my way back. Everything okay?
I would put it in place. Don't activate it yet unless you get a signal. We're heading back to the first rendezvous point. Cut off.
Okie dokie.
Right, instantly.
Cool.
Okay. Okay. Sergey, what do you do?
I'm going to see about putting the bomb to the north.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and gauge it so that it's going to do massive destruction to the Lancer house, that side of the river, but it's going to leave the south side of the river fairly intact.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. You can definitely estimate that. Yep.
Okay. Would you like
That's
a roll?
alright.
Would you like a roll for that estimation?
No. I'd like you to mark it roughly on the map.
On this map? I thought we
Further
said,
out than that?
yeah, I thought we said it was what, like a click away, or 0.75 clicks.
Yeah, it wouldn't be on the map, it would be like off the map.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's alright. I'm just wondering if it's Sergey distance or actual distance.
It's
That's all
actual.
right.
It's actual distance. I'm not wiping
I-
out. It's
I so
actual
wanted you to
distance.
say roll for Sergey's math. Please.
You see the robot sprinting into the center of the compound, and then cannonballing through the wall of the Lancer house before exploding.
give me a roll for Sergey's accuracy then
Okay.
to see how well placed this explosion is.
Can I use blow something up?
Yes, yes. Never more so than this.
Excellent. Thank you. Yes.
19. Yeah, lads. You think you've got it in a good spot where you can do optimal damage to the north side of the river, and leave the south side as undamaged as you possibly can by nuclear explosion.
Okay. Finally, a good roll. Okay.
Roll me a spot check, Sergey.
Fuck. Hang on, let me just see if I have anything for that. I do not. Can I use my mech since I'm in my mech?
Yes, fair enough. You can use your mech sensors if you want.
I would like to do so. Is this just going to be
Okay.
a d20 plus 2?
Yes.
13?
Remember your grip. Always your grip.
Oh yeah, don't worry, I've got my grip.
Okay, no worries.
I don't like that.
That's fine. 13. Alright. Yeah, you're chilling in your mech for now, waiting for feedback from Google. You don't spot anything on the sensors.
Okay.
Dougal. Nigel, what are you two doing? You've just retrieved this call from Sergey that he's ready, bombs in place.
Mm-hmm.
You've told them to meet up, the last rendezvous station, and hold fire.
Well, if there's no variation in the landing part, let's say we head back to where we stationed the mix first and meet up with Gavin.
It's been an hour?
I'd like to wait longer.
All right, no, if the initial plan was that wait until either disembark or any change in behavior.
Yeah, like nothing's changed as far as the facility's concerned, right? Like the teams are still loading as they were. Nothing's.
Teams are still loading as they were. Well, I can't say nothing's changed. As you shut off the phone call, Nigel,
Hmm.
a second passes. You're keeping a close eye. And one of the Lancers turns east. They've not looked east before.
Okay.
I said Dougal. Lancers no. Fucking Sergey. We've
It
been
didn't-
rumbled.
It wasn't like it looked at you. It just looked eastward, like
It
down
picked
the river almost.
something up in our general direction, though.
Yes, it
Back to the
definitely.
Lancers.
It was
Okay.
far
Okay.
too coincidental to not
Uh-huh.
being what do you call it? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. Let's head back to Lancers then. Because
If we have movement, we'll be able to see it on the scanner.
true.
You
Yep.
begin heading back. And you're maybe 10, 15 minutes through the forest at a good jog, I imagine, a good pace. You're not sprinting, but you're not walking either.
Trying to get out of there, yeah, because I don't know. I
I'll
act
try
like
to keep
those
a low
Lancers
profile.
probably have like fucking thermal fucking vision or some shit. So
I mean, you don't know. They
I'm
might.
assuming they are. Nigel's assuming they
Oh.
do.
You're like a black digital splodge with the occasional arm pop out of white thermal because of your coat.
As you're 15, 20 minutes into the forest, you hear the sound of heavy automatic fire coming from the airfield. And the staccato of a Lancer's assault rifle going off. And sirens begin wailing.
I stop and turn and look.
You're maybe 15 minutes into the forest at this point. You can't really see much apart from the lights shining through.
Oh, I really wanna.
You
Is there
have to go
nothing-
back.
Yeah, my Lancer's got a mine. I'm
Your
going back.
Lancer's got it. You're going
Yeah,
back?
I wanna sprint back.
Okay,
I wanna see what's happening.
you sprint back. So as you're sprinting through the forest, this gunfire escalates. Sounds of explosions can be heard now. The crack of small arms fire as well. And as you burst through the trees, you see that the base is being assaulted on the southwestern side by a group of lancers. The Dougal, you could sort of make out with the same sort of greyish colour you seen moving through the trees earlier.
Marakosh.
These lancers look like these.
Oh.
Oh,
See, one arm has some
my.
sort of energy weapon that is a large red beam that is cutting through the shuttle, cutting slices off the wing through the hull. One of the wings is almost completely fallen off. The machine gun on top, almost auto-targeting the small arms troopers, just cutting them down with efficiency and precision. One of them, two of the mechs, just lay into the shuttle with this large arm-mounted laser cutting shreds out of it, just attempting to cut it apart. Meanwhile, 3 others are pinning down 2 lancers that were defending the Yarshov lancers. They're now taking cover behind to the outcropping warehouses, some of the good cargo containers, returning the staccato fire with their own assault rifles, but obviously somewhat outmatched by these new assailants, as the laser weaponry is inflicting heavy damage upon them. From your previous escapade in the morning, this isn't the same sort of firefight that you encountered crossed your path much earlier. And Horatio didn't tell you of another faction.
Do
The
these?
only,
Soldiers have won.
you know there's
Oh.
Yaroslav, you know there's Markosh, but the fight you seen earlier looked like it was probably Yaroslav Lancers, but it wasn't Markosh.
Do
You
these?
know
Are
that-
these? Do these lancers look like the kind of lancers Marrakesh generally use, or do they look like something else?
You would probably know the general layout and suggest these look like Markosh Lancers, unmarked.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a TV show game, so they look
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Markosh Lancers.
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Okay.
That they could be anybody, but they're Markosh Lancers.
Harkonnen
Yeah. You know.
from that Titan. It looks like a Harkonnen from that Lancer.
I see this firefight going on as light flashes across your eyes as these beams cut through the warehouse, inflict the odd damaging blow onto the Yaroslav Lancers. For them, it seems like no more reinforcements have arrived yet, however,
Okay.
which you find peculiar.
Even more reason to believe that the lancer flights are not here.
Sergey?
Mm-hmm.
It's agility, isn't it, for your Lancer defense?
I have no idea.
Oh no.
Evasion.
Evasion, what's your evasion?
My evasion is 8.
Okay. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Sergey. You're waiting, you're watching your comm station in the Lancer, you're watching your tracker, waiting for blips to pop up in case anybody comes for you.
Mm-hmm.
And just out of the corner of your eye, you catch it. A glowing blue in your left monitor.
Mm-hmm.
You throw your Lancer to the side, just thrown wildly away from whatever this is that is approaching you, as a blue glaive flashes past your front viewport and then retracts. You turn and you see a large Lancer, almost like a centaur. 4 legs, lean and limber, support a regular Lancer body. Only instead of being the usual blocky robotic model you're used to seeing in Everests, this is lean, almost like it's made of some sort of synth muscle that ripples when it moves, and it squares off its lance with you. And sort of, you see it like twitching its legs, flexing its fingers, a glowing blue light cutting out of its crescent-shaped visor as the head turns and locks in you.
Hello, beautiful.
And on your sensor, the IFF picks up as Yaroslav first captain.
Rutrow.
And then bing, 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 bing. 5 more contacts.
Fuck!
From the north, approaching fast. All IFFs, flag is Yaroslav.
Okay. Are we in? Are we in combat mode at the moment?
We cut back from this scene.
Okay.
Nigel, what are you doing? You're watching this firefight.
these, like, what was it, Marrakesh?
Mhm.
The Marrakesh Lancers definitely seem to have the upper hand. Like, no
Definitely.
doubt in that.
They both
Um,
outnumber and seem to overpower the Yaroslav ones.
I mean, I'm curious to, like, I kind of want to see if their goal is just chaos destruction and then leave, or if they're gonna try and get into the base. So I kind of want to wait and watch.
Okay, no worries, no worries. I'll cut back to you then, Nathan, as Dougal's currently AFK.
I'll need
You
to
are
leave,
most.
by the way.
Yeah, I know. You got like what, 5 minutes?
Yeah, she's getting the train in like she's on the train now, so she'll be arriving at like 5 past, 10 past. So
Okay, don't worry. I'm
10.
planning on wrapping it up pretty quickly here, hopefully.
Okay. Cliffhanger us.
Exactly. What do you do, Sergey?
Am I next to my bomb?
Your bomb, I believe, is where you planted it, north of the base. I think you're 750 meters away, within a click.
Do it.
You know that if you detonated this, it wouldn't damage the one beside you, but the 5 approaching, you think could maybe be caught in the blast. Or at least damaged by falling tree and flying debris.
Would I have had time to install it as well, Paul?
Sorry, I thought it was like...
No, I mean, my improvised bad boy for my mech, my improvised gun.
No.
Okay.
You had a specific mission you wish to accomplish. If you told me you want to do the improvised before
That's fine. That's
of course
fine.
you would have, but, you know.
So does this mech say anything to me?
It doesn't. Not yet, at least. I mean, we're almost in like freeze frame time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like it's staring at you for minutes here.
Yeah.
It's like you've dodged, you see it, boom. What do you do? What is your first reaction?
It can outrun me.
Also outmatches you in weapon range.
Outmatches me in weaponry and everything.
Also, it's got reinforcements coming.
I would like to put my hands up like this and say I surrender, and then fall backwards
Okay.
so that I land on the ground, which should give me more protection from the blast.
Yes.
And then set off the nuke.
Oh god. I can't wait for Haggy to get back.
I don't know how long he's
The nuke's
gonna
gone
be, but I want to wait until he's here to do this next like 10 minutes.
Oh Christ! Oh God, is he just getting a drink?
I don't know.
Oh
It's,
man.
We'll give it a few minutes. Either we'll end it here
Okay.
and I'll cliffhanger it with a little ending slide because Reese has to go, or Haggy will arrive and
Understandable.
we'll cliffhanger it the other way.
Oh man. Oh
boy.
God.
I did not expect this for the first session.
I feel like our shit was doing pretty
I
well.
did.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
covert
it's okay.
Stuff, though.
It was going great. Until Sergey got involved.
Ha.
Hey,
Fuck,
I've
this
been
is
very
why
covert.
I said to Horatio, he's a liability and we shouldn't bring him on missions.
Hey, I've done okay. I think I've been doing very well.
I disagree.
I have accomplished my missions to the fullest extent that I can. Oh, fuck.
Oh boy, yeah. I don't know.
Oh, man.
There's nothing else I can really do until I see if Haggy returns or not.
Oh. I mean, I think that's a good way to cliffhanger it for the next session. I'm not gonna lie. Oh.
It is. It is fair enough. We'll cut out with this playing in the background as Nigel and Dougal poke through the long grass, watching this firefight going on. Hardened tungsten rounds sometimes penetrate and sometimes bounce off these Markosh Lancers as they continue to advance on the warehouses and the hangar bays, firing their laser weaponry, cutting through swathes of metal and worker as they do. And then in the background, a flower bloom. Small at first, but then growing larger and larger until without even looking, you can see it through the back of your head. A blinding light envelops you. And the station's sirens and alarms that were wailing cut off and fizzle. And suddenly you are lifted into the air and blown away by this massive gust of wind and energy. And we cut to black as you two are blown off to the side as debris and dust flies and covers this airfield, completely obscuring the battle.
I like the idea that when it fades to black, there's just like the sound of like winds like rushing, and then just the like ticks of a Geiger counter.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh.
As the Geiger counter ticks, we see from Sergei's view inside his mech, the system's dark and toned down as the hardened systems kick in to keep his mech operational, even in the midst of an EMP and nuclear blast. You just hear whatever Sergei would say.
Easy peasy.
And we end. Oof. Spicy.
Fucking spicy indeed.
I'm gonna have to redraw this map for next session.
Fuck. It's just gonna be a big black circle. Shit.
Boys, why do you do this to me? Stealth operation nukes the place.
Hey, we were trying.
Okay. I'm just gonna say it right. No one can notice us if there's no one to notice us.
Huh.
You do remember Horatio saying that he didn't care if you got found. They're going to know it was them anyway.
So, that's fine. Smash and grab. Let's just do it faster now. Oh, easy peasy.